I had mom's spaghetti for dinner last night in
really?
Kaysville. Yeah.
And interestingly enough, I have vomit on my sweater. so that's kind of odd, isn't it?
It is.
I have vomit on my sweater. I don't know how it got there.
Because last night at the rally in Detroit, it was just adorable.
Well, did he do the uncensored? I mean, we had to play the censored version here. Did Barack Obama say the words?
Well, he didn't rap the whole song. He just rapped the open. So Eminem, because they were in Detroit, Eminem came out to introduce Barack Obama, and maybe Carrie can play a little bit of that.
Oh, do you have that handy, Carrie?
I do right here. Here
Okay.
we go.
Now notice my palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy, vomit on my sweater already, mom's spaghetti. I'm nervous, but on the surface I look calm and ready to drop bombs, but I keep on forgetting.
He's adorable.
He's not very talented, really. When it comes, he's not very talented. Yeah, Eminem is much better at that than former President Barack Obama. Of course, Eminem is now was he the official ambassador of Detroit?
Yeah, I mean he always has been. He's
Well, what about isn't Kid Rock from Detroit also? I mean, is there a?
he's from Michigan.
I think he grew up. Yeah. He was. He's a heir to some automobile people. I think.
I think Nashville has claimed him now.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
we can have him.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
But so Eminem will figure in the boner voting coming up as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
in a good way or a bad way? I'm worried.
Gina, why would you be worried? Would you be worried that I might besmirch the fine reputation of Eminem
Yes.
somehow? No.
No?
No.
Well, I don't.
No.
Okay.
And if I did, it would what? It would do what? I'm worried about
I'm
that.
worried.
Now-
I'm worried.
Now Eminem
Yeah.
coming out and putting his voice behind Kamala Harris in the campaign. No, that was big news. But
Yeah.
there were two other bigger ones yesterday. There was Michael Keaton
Yes.
Oh, I didn't see that.
and the most important one of them all, which I think is going to sway a lot of people, Insane Clown Posse.
Did they really?
You're kidding.
No,
You're kidding.
Juggalos for
The
Harris? Is that
juggalos
what-
for
they
Harris.
endorsed Kamala Harris.
That's funny.
Okay. Well, okay then. Get the Faygo, and we'll toast to Kamala Harris with a can of Faygo.
Exactly.
Oh,
I saw the Michael Keaton one, and not only is Michael Keaton for Harris, but Beetlejuice also for it's. So there's two votes. That's not just one vote. That's two votes.
it's showtime. Well, okay.
Don't
Really?
get complacent though.
Insane
We
clown
got we
posse.
got a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, if your ballot came in the mail, it should have. Fill that sucker out and don't wait till next week.
It'll take you a while.
I filled mine out yesterday, and I'm going to go out and run a couple of errands today, and I'm going to drop it off at one of those drop boxes.
Yeah, you can drop it in the mail, or you can take your mail-in ballot to a drop box. And if you go to vote.utah.gov, everything is there. You want to learn about candidates.
There are a lot of those drop boxes around.
You want to know where the drop boxes are. You want to know that's you want to track your ballot. If you've mailed it in, you want to know if they counted it. You'll get Bill talks about how he, knows.
I
when
get
they-
text messages
Yeah.
all the time. I opened my ballot yesterday to fill it out, and I went, well, this is going to take too long. I can't do it now. There's a lot of stuff on there.
There is 2 pages.
Yeah. And
I can't remember one being this.
It's the longest one
it
we've
is.
ever had.
It is the biggest, thickest
Yeah, I thought it might be.
ballot that we've ever had. But don't let that discourage you.
No.
Just you can just. It used didn't it? It seems to me when I used to vote, you could just mark straight one party ticket.
You used to be able to do that.
You could say you could go to each candidate and or you could just say I'm going to vote
Straight
everybody
Democrat or straight
everybody
Republican.
who's Democrat or everybody who's Republican.
I think you should have
I
to
don't
go
think
through and look.
I
at
don't
each
think they
one.
have that anymore. Well, okay. So if you think I should go look at every single one of them,
well,
I
you
will.
have to.
I do, but I don't have to know anything about them. I can just put a mark next to them. It's it's the weird thing is the judges.
So again,
I just find it so annoying that we do that.
If you go to vote.utah.gov, there are reviews of the judges.
Yeah.
Reviews done by attorneys and people that work at the courthouse, and it's nonpartisan. It's just like, hey, here's our experiences with this judge. If you think that's somebody that should retain their position, great. If not, you can vote against it. So you can learn about them.
So we don't vote for judges at all.
No, you vote to retain them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The judges are all appointed, and then if enough negative votes come, they can take them out of office.
Yeah. And since we have a few friends in the legal industry, I've been talking to them, and they said they're all pretty good except for one.
Except for one?
Yeah.
Well, do you want to say which one?
I don't want to say on the air, no.
Oh.
But look, you can find out for yourself. Go read their reviews.
Are they like movie reviews?
Yeah.
This judge is
Rotten Tomatoes for judges.
Yeah. This judge
Certified
looks really
fresh.
good.
Certified fresh judge.
It's very.
I was let down by this judge in the end.
That's right. Yeah. I have seen. I remember a few years ago it was in the. There was a judge who was very controversial, and there was a lot of reporting on it in the news. And I think that he was. I think that I don't remember the circumstances, but I think that judge was removed from office because people said, "Okay, we won't retain him." So.
And if you're thinking about,
I want a judge I can hire.
If you're thinking like I'm not excited about any of these candidates, I'm not going to vote. I don't care. Your one vote counts the same as anybody else's, and I guarantee you there's something on that ballot that you care about. So you might not care about everything, but there is something on there you care about. So don't waste it.
Yeah, but so what you're saying is please vote.
Yeah, but I'm saying there are people that are like, I definitely don't like Trump, but I don't really like Kamala, so I'm just not going to vote. There are other things on there that are important.
I did not. There was a period of time in my life where I didn't vote. I did say that. Oh, this is nonsense. I don't care about any of this. It's just all whatever happens is it's.
Then you're letting other people decide things about your.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about Nixon. I feel really bad about Reagan, and so I finally learned my lesson, and we got Slick Willie in there. So there we go.
Slick Willie.
We got Slick Willie to take care of things.
Well,
All right.
that's some farting around there. That's what that is.
This has been Farting Around with Carrie, Bill, and Gina on X96, Radio from Hell.
All right, we'll take a break, and then we'll come back with check-ins. You going to vote? Huh? 877-602-9696. That's the number. You can call and check in with us. We'd like to hear from you in the morning. You can also text us at 33986. But let your voice be heard here on the Radio from Hell show. 877-602-9696 or 33986.
All right. We'll get that for you. All coming up. Stand by for that. Oh, hey, Hoops Vision Correction, HOOPES Vision.com.
Going to go see those folks today. Hoops Vision, they are... they do the LASIK procedure, but they do my basic eye care as well. You should really get your eyes checked every year, probably. But Hoops Vision, the LASIK procedure, Carrie's been through it. I've been through it. It's not 877. It's 877-30 LASIK is the number to get your appointment for Hoops Vision, and it's a painless procedure. It really is. There's nothing to it.
Yeah, I was all worried about that it was going to hurt. So I sent my wife in first, like a brave boy that I am.
And we've all done it now. You get rid of your glasses, you get rid of your contact lenses, and that's just terrific at Hoops Vision. So $800 off right now, $800 off. So make your appointment 877-30 LASIK, or you can go to hoopsvision.com.
And now, an important message from the chainsaw guy that you encounter at the end of every haunted house.
Oh man, this is gonna be really great.
You know, you can DoorDash Larry H. Miller Megaplex.
Megaplex popcorn?
Yeah, gigantic tubs of theater popcorn.
That's kind of fun if you're having a family movie night.
Oh, Payday has caramel.
That's
Is that the
yes, it
difference?
does. Yes, it does.
That's the difference.
And I think maybe salted nut roll is just nougat.
It's just nougat.
Maybe.
I don't know.
That's been
Google
years.
Google. What's the difference between a Payday and a salted nut roll?
Okay.
And I'll bet it comes right up.
And let's not talk about cherry olette.
No.
You ever have one of those?
no. What is that? Does that have nuts in it?
I think so. A cherry olette is and it's kind of round, dome-shaped candy bar thing. And you bite into it, and it's filled with cherry-flavored cream, as I recall. And I think there might be some nuts.
Yep.
And some little bits of cherry, chewy little cherry.
Delicious.
bits.
Okay, here we go.
All right.
A Payday candy bar has the same sweet, salty thing going on: salty peanuts and peanut butter with golden caramel. The salted nut roll has a nougat center.
As the nougat center.
Okay. Yeah.
I prefer a salted nut roll then,
You like the nougats.
but I'm not sure where I can get one. Anytime I
they
go
have
look
them,
at the
right?
candy bars, I don't see them.
They're not the most common, but I'm sure
I
you
see
can
the
get them.
Payday all the time, but I don't see the salted nut roll. Who makes the salted nut roll? Does it say?
Let's see.
Is it like M&M Mars or some big company?
Pearson's candy.
Pearson. See, that's why I don't see it as much.
Yeah, I just looked up cherry olette. Yeah, it has the cherry cream and little bits of chewy cherry inside of
But
it.
no nuts are involved.
I don't think so. I can't.
We're
I'm just looking
we're
at a
talking
picture.
nut-specific candies
And
here.
again, we really have to apologize for getting so political with this.
I know, right? A Payday is a Baby Ruth without chocolate.
Okay, caramel and nuts. Yeah.
From
And the cherry olette is also known as Big Cherry, right?
the,
Because I'm looking at the package and it says Big Cherry on it.
well, the only ones I'm seeing here are cherry olette. Cherry olette from the Hoffman Candy Company, 1950s when they started.
There's also Chase's Cherry Mash.
I think I want to try. I've never had a salted nut roll, and now that I'm reading and looking at them, I want a salted
Big
nut
Cherry is a different candy
Is that a
bar.
different one?
Yeah, it's a
Because
different.
I've had the Big Cherry. I don't think I've had the Cherry Olette because I recognize that package.
The Big Cherry is a huge mound of milk chocolate sprinkled with peanuts containing a whole cherry in a rich, creamy center.
Yeah, I've had that one. I thought that's what a Cherry Olette was.
No,
but I guess
Cherry
that's a
Olette
Big
is
Cherry.
different candy bar.
Let's have candy
What's
later
the
today.
oldest candy bar being made?
Are you asking me, or do
Well,
you have it there?
it just popped up. Apparently, the oldest candy bar still being made is Toblerone.
Toblerone.
Created in Switzerland in 1908 by Emil Bowman and Theodore Tobler.
Somebody said if I go to Holiday Oil, they have a Pearson's salted nut roll.
Oh, there you go.
Do you guys have any more of those ass hats? I sure could use one. I'm going to Costco later, so.
What?
I don't know.
All
All right.
I don't get.
You know the ones speaking of Costco. Oh,
Yeah.
What?
you get a big container of that. How do you say it? Ferraro Rocher.
Yeah.
Oh, the
Ferrero
little
Rocher.
The
individually
gold-
wrapped.
Yeah.
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 Oh,
You like
there
those?
you go. You put those in a big bowl and just with your movie popcorn, and you eat them.
You know what the oldest candy company or the oldest candy bar still being made is?
Toblerone.
No. Well,
Because those
the
are
oldest,
still
I'm sorry,
around.
the oldest candy company.
Oh.
The oldest candy company in America. Ye Old Pepper Candy Company in
Has it-
Salem.
Has it always been Ye Old?
I
Or
think
did they
so.
change it after a while?
I think so. I don't know
Can
what.
you start off being Ye Old something?
Oh, now look what they've done to the salted nut roll. They've flavored them.
What?
You can get a cinnamon churro salted nut roll or a spicy salted nut roll.
I want to try both of those.
And I don't recognize the package, and maybe that's why I'm not seeing the salted nut roll.
I want to try both.
Ye Old Pepper Candy Company makes those melt-away peppermint kind of, those white sort of.
And this texter reminds me, I know I'm going to go drive down to Pirate O's and Draper and check out the uncommon candy that they have. They have a big,
Uncommon,
they have a
different.
big selection of hard to find and uncommon
Oh, you
candies.
should.
They have like Zabar and.
Oh yeah, all that stuff.
Uh,
All right. All right. Let's see. It is 6:22. Let's get this over with.
Kid Rock was born in Detroit, Michigan. His father owned multiple car dealerships. He was raised in a very large home, a mansion, if you will, on very expensive property. Kid Rock.
He's a man of the people.
Kid Rock, right
So
there.
he's the original dude. My dad owns a dealership.
He's that, yeah. All right, we will officially begin the program, and then we'll go to your check-ins. 877-602-9696 is the number. You can also text us at 33986. Gina.
X96 welcomes They Might Be Giants June 10th to the Depot. Tickets go on sale this Friday at 10 a.m., but we'll have some that you can win before you can buy coming up later with Beat Gina.
The moon is 58.5% of full. It is in the third quarter. The moon will set today at 2:46 p.m., today being Wednesday. It's the 23rd day of October in the year of our Lord Jesus Christ, 2024. It's TV talk show host day.
Oh.
It's actually Johnny Carson's birthday. So they just use that occasion to say, let's honor all TV talk shows. It's National iPod Day. Steve Jobs introduced to the world the very first iPod on October 23rd, 2001. It sold at least 400 million units. Wow! And it isn't around anymore. Nope. It gave the name podcast came from the iPod, and we don't even have an iPod anymore. It's National Boston Cream Pie Day. I love it. Oh man, I can't remember the
Not
last
a
time.
pie, the Boston cream pie.
It's a cake, but they call it I don't know why. And I don't know why they call it a pie. Perhaps I'll die. And it's Medical Assistant Day. So people assisting medical people, it's your day. This is the Radio from Hell show starring the Lords of Morning Radio. Kerry Jackson. Hi, Kerry.
Hi.
I'm Bill Allred. Kerry's at home. There he is. Hi, Kerry.
He'll be back here tomorrow.
I'm Bill Allred. Gina Barberi over there. Katie, for short, is our producer running the board today. We have Macy in there helping out. Macy, did you get the boner candidates, Macy? Okay, good. And we got Winston. What's his name?
Tanner.
What's his
Tan-
name?
was it
It's Tanner.
Tanner.
Hi, Tanner.
Okay, so he's in there. Winston is in. Tanner is in there.
You
helping
called
out.
him Asher last time.
Asher. Okay, well, he's a brimful.
No, you called him Rushton. That's what you called
Rushton?
him.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Rushton. He'll answer to anything. He just waves his. Yep, whatever.
He's just happy to be here.
Yeah. All right, let's go to check-ins, shall we? Let's see, line 1. It's Chris. Hi, Chris. Chris in Kansas.
Good morning.
Overland Park,
Good
Kansas.
morning. That's right.
Yeah.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
So, hey, real quick, I know we talked about marching band last time I called in a couple weeks ago. Just want to let you know my son led the high school band to the state championship this past weekend.
Excellent. Well
Wow.
done.
We are on cloud 9 around here. And then I want to pick up on something that Gina said earlier, and it's about voting.
Mm-hmm.
And as someone who's been voted into office a couple times,
Yes,
and
Chris,
looking forward to
you
getting
are.
out there
We should
to
point
do
out
it.
that you are a city council person in Overland Park,
Correct.
Kansas. All right.
That's correct. And, I tell the story of my oldest son who was very upset about the abortion thing 2 years ago and didn't know what to do and didn't know how to handle it. When they put that vote to us, I said, the best thing you can do is your voice has to be your vote.
Mm-hmm.
Get 5 of your friends, get them together and bring them with you. And the result will come out the way that it's supposed to if you get more people into the process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And by doing that 2 years ago here in August, 2 years ago, we overturned that vote and shined that right to an abortion here in Kansas. And he has gone out and tried to get more people to do that. So please do not sit on the sidelines, Utahns.
Yeah.
Just,
Yeah.
You can't make change happen unless you go and participate.
Amen.
All right, thank you, Chris. I'm sorry your son needed an abortion, but I'm glad he.
Now my family's going to be calling me, Bill. Thank you.
Thanks, Chris,
Thanks,
and nice to
Chris.
hear from you as always. See you later.
All right, thanks, guys. Have a great day.
Bye. Let's see. We go to Lee in Midvale. Hi, Lee.
Good morning.
Hi.
morning.
Yeah, this is Lee,
Yeah.
Flying Stormy's dad. So, hey, I just wanted to talk about Ozzy's tribute at the Rock and Roll
Sure.
Hall of Fame induction.
Mm-hmm.
It was a wonderful tribute, a wonderful performance, but not one mention of Jake E. Lee, which absolutely blew my mind.
Yeah.
I thought Ozzy mentioned him.
He talked about
not
him.
that I was aware of.
Not at the.
Not at the ceremony, but he has made a
Well,
comment
do you-
about it.
So did Jake die on? He died before that happened. Huh.
Yeah.
Okay. Or no, he didn't die.
Did Jake
No, he didn't.
actually? No, I
No, he
was
didn't
gonna
die.
say, did he pass?
No,
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 he's-
no.
no.
Sorry, he was
No.
just shot. He's fine. He's fine. He's just fine.
Maybe that's why
Yeah.
Ozzy didn't mention it. He's saying, well, he's recovering. I don't know.
Oh no, he mentioned Randy Rhoads. That's who I'm thinking
Yeah,
of.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but he didn't mention Brad Gillis either, who was played on Speak of the Devil, which was Ozzy's first live album.
And Lee,
So, yeah.
he not one word about me from Ozzy. I didn't hear him say anything about me.
I thought he mentioned Chainsaw Guy though, so I think you're close.
Well,
I
there
think
you
he's
go.
friends with now Chainsaw Guy, he'll be here next week for Halloween. We can ask him if he knows Ozzy.
I bet he does.
Yeah, absolutely. He has to bark at the moon somehow.
Yeah.
All right, Lee.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Lee.
Thanks, Lee.
Thank you.
All right. Let's see. Already gotten notified that my filled out ballot has been received by the county. Texter says. Don't let the size fool of the ballot fool you. Again, the voice to text thing is not your friend. I looked up everything and checked all the judges. It only took about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So there you go.
Okay.
You can do that at work.
Sure.
I'm going to do it during the show today.
Yeah. Perry City listener checking in. Curious, I don't recall voting for sheriff before. Is that new this year?
No.
I didn't have it on mine. Yeah.
You have.
No.
Yeah, it depends on your county, I guess.
Yeah. Wish we could do this with the Supreme Court.
Yes, that would be nice.
That would be good. Mike in Nashville doing my civic duty, checking in.
Excellent.
Zane of Dallas checking in. Going to vote next week. Carrie, what's the email for Must Goes?
Well,
Thank you, Zane. Yes, it is. The Things That Must Go. We'll be doing that in just a few minutes, so still time to get yours in. Radio from Hell at x96.com. What is bugging you? Something right now. Email us.
Let's see. Good morning, Lords. Raya Borum checking in. Man, the show is so political.
I mean, it kind of is.
It depends.
It is that time of year.
Yeah.
You know. It's also like saying this show is awfully Halloween-y. You know, it's that time of year. Groundskeeper Bob checking in. Dropped my ballot off this morning. Good morning, Moni from Taylorsville. Vote. SoCal Spence checking in. Me from the Stansbury of all parks. Can't I just vote for the president?
Yes, you can.
Yes.
Yeah.
You don't have to fill out every part of your ballot, but why not?
Exactly. Good morning, Right Wing Wade checking in. Pittsburgh listener Mauricio Paez. Me and my wife have already voted by mail here in Pennsylvania, and we've confirmed our ballot has been received and counted. Hope the lawn sign wars subside after Election Day. Yeah, apparently there's been quite a lot of Harris signs getting stolen.
Nobody's been messing with mine.
They left they quit knocking it down.
Yeah,
Oh, good.
a couple of times it was knocked down, but now it's just been stable.
Johnny B., Luis of Harrisburg. Let's see, April of American Fork. Lean to the Left, Larry. Tristan of the Most West of Jordan. Sketchy Blake from Ogden. FedEx Brian. Clark in Park here. Let's see, Farrell Fergal. Tim the Tree Guy. AW from the vilest of K's vials.
I think it's the vilest of K's
The vilest? Put an extra L in there, otherwise it's vilest. Woodworker Willie checking in. Jamie of the Benchiest Bountiful Benches, Derek the Cable Guy, Cardboard Chris, Tree of Maine, Ryan from Bean Trailer checking in. Everybody's here. Let's get traffic and get going.
All right, Wing Wade says everything seems to be moving well on I-15 this morning, and I would agree. I'm looking at the UDOT cameras. I don't see any slowdowns or problem spots. If you have a problem spot, share it with us. We love to hear from you. Text it to us, 33986.
All right. We'll take a break. We'll be back after these messages and a song with Big Boy News and Frank Christ Presents, all coming up. BigOTires.com.
Big O Tires, the team you trust, ladies and gentlemen. They are indeed. Big O, your true one-stop shop for automotive repair.
Yeah, it's not just tires.
Nope.
They do wheels, alignments, rotation, balances, oil changes, brakes, batteries, shocks, struts, fluids, and more.
I've had much of that stuff done at the Big O Tire store that I go to on 2nd East in South Temple. Big O Tires offers free tire rotations and flat repairs as well. They'll check the air pressure in your tires if your little light comes on. And I've given up trying to fill my own tires.
No, let them do it.
I always screw it up.
They'll get it just right.
Big O Tires has financing options, too, to fit every budget and every situation. And a really nice thing about Big O now is that you can make an appointment online. Just go to their website, BigOTires.com, and find the store near you. Make your appointment. But if you're in a hurry, you can just walk in, too, as well. Big O Tires, the team you trust. The murder desk again?
Is the murder desk ready?
Yes.
All right, here we go.
And now, a morsel of murder with Gina Barberi. Radio from Hell on X96.
Was following the Lori Vallow case with rapt attention yesterday.
Murder?
Lori Vallow Daybell. She's a gold digger is what she is. Gold digger.
Because the entire day's testimony was based on Lori's iCloud text messages. So they had FBI Special Agent Douglas Hart on.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just text message after text message.
Wow. With whom? Everybody and anybody?
Well, there's mostly between her and Chad Daybell.
Mm-hmm.
Now, of course, these two are charged with killing her children, JJ and Tylee, and his wife,
and
Tammy.
They're not charged with that one, are they?
Well, they're
suspected.
looking at that now, and there's also other deaths.
Mm-hmm.
There's her brother Alex, who I think helped them do all this. There's her ex-husband Charles.
But they're so far charged with the deaths of the kids.
This one is just for the kids. And they had this crazy doomsday belief. They followed this group called Preparing a People.
Chad and Lori.
Yeah. They talk about zombies and souls leaving bodies.
Mm-hmm.
And this is Chad's thing. And he told his followers the world was going to end on July 22nd.
Did he start this movement?
Yeah, it's his thing.
Okay.
She met him at a conference where he was speaking.
Mm-hmm.
But so the text messages are talking about the kids and Tammy. These were clearly having an affair way before Tammy died.
I mean, that's pretty obvious. I mean, I'm just on the periphery of this thing, and I've seen a couple of Nightlines, and that's all I know.
Yeah. So Chad, one of his texts told Lori that he was instructed by, God or whoever, to focus his efforts on a demon that was inhabiting Tylee, and the demon's name was Hillary.
Tylee is the little
daughter. And here's one of the texts Lori said. Find out her percentage for me and JJ. So the demons overtake you by percentages.
By percentages.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So when you
Are you surprised at that? I knew that.
When you if you're an 80, that means you're 80% Tylee, but you're 20% demon.
Hillary, yeah. How do they measure that?
Well, Chad just knows.
He just knows. There's not a device or anything like that.
And so there are all these texts going, and she would say things like, Tylee's acting really weird. She's being sweet and cleaned her room. What percentage is she today?
Maybe she's terrified of you.
And she said, this totally is not seeming like her. So she said that, and then Chad said, yes, she's been switched.
Uh-oh.
Which means it's time to get rid of her.
So that's 100% Hillary.
Yeah.
And not Tylee anymore.
Yeah. I mean...
Just on his say.
Yeah.
Well, he knows. He's written books.
Oh, well.
I mean, they are talking about, is it time to take them out?
Mm-hmm.
Is it time?
Do they say that?
Yeah. Let's see here. Let me see if Lori said, do you think there's a perfectly orchestrated plan to take the children, or do we just have to wait for it to be carried out? And Chad says, there's a plan. You're doing everything right. I'll let you know. Then Chad says, they're surrounded by terrestrial relatives who are obstacles. I'm so sick of it. I can't wait for this to be done.
Obstacles.
Mm-hmm.
Scientologists call those suppressives.
But then there's like relationship-y, arguing things. Like Lori's mad at Chad, so she's not answering his texts. And Chad says, he tells her that the protections he has placed around her are now gone because the angels are upset that she isn't talking to him, and he will not reinstate the protections until she texts him back.
That's it. I'm pulling off. Yeah, the spell's gone now.
I mean, Lori, what percentage now? What's JJ's percentage? Chad. Well, Tammy's at a 3, JJ's a 2. They're both being heavily shielded. 2 and 3%, not 0? No, not yet. I will explain when I talk to you. Okay, I'm still hot for you. Lori. So talking about how close are these people to us needing to take them out.
To killing children.
Yeah.
I'm still hot for you.
Yeah.
I don't see... When I look at Chad Daybell's face, I do not see a charismatic person.
No.
There.
Yeah.
I see a kind of dumb-looking cluck.
See, that's what I couldn't figure out.
A dumb cluck.
There are all these people who are worshiping him as this, the voice of God, and I'm like, how naive do you have to be fooled by that guy?
Admittedly, I'm just going by the way he looks.
Here's from Lori to Chad talking about Tylee. Lori, she's asleep. She put a bunch of holes in the walls and doors. Definitely demons helping her do that. Chad. Yes, maybe next Thursday.
They're what a great couple.
I mean, hi, my love. How's JJ now? He's better. He was talking nonsense for 2 hours last night. I'm sure the demons were bugging him. Is he at a 0 yet? I miss you. Chad. Yes, he's a 0. He's probably partly through the veil and talking to people on both sides of the veil. I can't wait. I literally can't wait. I want you now.
Let's bear in mind, too, that the young boy, was autistic.
Yeah.
That's
But how, I don't know. I tweeted out yesterday, if this jury doesn't take 30 seconds to convict her, I will eat cheese. I want them to walk in the room and go, yeah, we're all good.
I want them to stand up and start to leave and then turn back around and go, look,
like
never
a
mind.
cartoon, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it'll be more than 30 seconds because they have to order lunch.
that's true. You get one more lunch.
You
out
get
of
lunch
it.
and then you eat it, and then you go, all right, let's go.
They're not sequestered, are they?
I
I
don't know.
don't think they are.
But casually talking about,
Yeah.
well, as soon as they get to a zero, we'll take them out because they're. And the way they justify it is, well, they're demons. We were doing them a favor. The real JJ is already on the other side of the veil, so we're not really killing him. We're killing a demon.
Makes it easier to kill your kids.
Mm-hmm.
What I don't know is if at this point her defense can be, well, clearly she's crazy. Like, I don't think they're putting forward that defense. Like, she believes that. They both believe this, that demons are
it would
taking over?
would actually probably be harder to charge them if they actually believe this stuff.
Well, I think they do.
Rather than the insanity defense.
Yeah. I mean, no, I think they believe it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be easier to, not charge them, but to get them off the hook if they actually believe this. Well, they actually believe these
They do. I think they do believe it, or did.
Yeah, I don't know, but it was rapt attention I had yesterday just reading text message after text message.
Did you do that while you were folding laundry?
Yeah.
Here's Ivy in the chat room. The best part is when Chad said that he and Lori were cheek to cheek and loin to loin.
Cheek to cheek.
Oh yeah, and he would tell her stories about, because he told her how he got her at the when they first met at the conference. We've been married in a previous life.
Oh, I've tried that line.
That's yeah. I don't know who falls for that anymore.
We're already married. And she went, oh, yes.
I'm surprised. Yeah.
Holy cow.
Oh,
I could never get anybody to fall for that one.
nope, never worked. All right, thank you, Murder Desk.
Oh, it was a big day. It was.
We'll follow this story for you all day if we have to.
So did it affect the markets at all?
The Barkets.
Barkets. Oh, the three-wheeled beast of the markets. The Birder Desk. Birder Desk.
B-U-R.
B-U-R. The Birder Desk.
Oh, man.
After that, it's Frank Christ Presents They're Fine, They're Just Fine, the Dead Celebrity Game. Going to give you a list of 4 celebrity names. 3 of those celebrities are just fine. 1 of them dead. Pick the dead one correctly, and you will win.
Salt Lake Film Society, Broadway Center Cinema's Tower of Terror tickets.
Tickets to the horror movies at the Tower just in time for Halloween. 877-602-9696 is the number to call. Get in line to play Frank Christ Presents. 877-602-9696. We'll play, and you'll win right after this big boy news and Opinioendo brought to you by.
Business owners, do you owe $15,000 or more on employment taxes and don't know what to do? McClure and Stewart, your local trusted tax attorneys. Go to McClureandStewart.com today.
Tragedy. He was one of a kind, an original. He will be missed. How many people remember Fernando Valenzuela?
Baseball been very, very good to me.
Mexican-born left-handed pitcher for the Los Angeles Dodgers, who enthralled baseball fans as a 20-year-old in the 1981 season. He had a really strange wind-up, and he threw what was known as a screwball. He died on Tuesday. He was 63. His death was confirmed in a statement by the Dodgers and by Major League Baseball's commissioner, Robert Manfred Jr. The statements did not cite a cause of death or say where he died. Valenzuela stepped away from his job as a Dodgers broadcaster this month to focus on his health. The team said that he'd been planning to return for the 2025 season. Valenzuela won his first 8 starts in spectacular fashion. 5 of his victories were shutouts.
Yeah, he was a big deal.
And 7 were complete games. His earned run average was .50.
Yeah, he was.
Nobody has an earned run average of .50. He's got the world on a string, and that's 8-0, a headline in the Los Angeles Times read at the time. Valenzuela was somewhat more hittable during the rest of the season, which was broken up by a nearly 2-month-long player strike, but his 13-7 record and 2.48 earned run average for the season were enough to win him the National League Rookie of the Year and the Cy Young Award. He was the only player to ever win both in the same year, Valenzuela. He was only 63 years old.
Oh.
Let's see. There's been a death in the wetlands here of Salt Lake City. A man who was duck hunting near the Great Salt Lake is presumed dead after falling into the water and not resurfacing. Salt Lake City Fire Department said that they were called to an area of the Duck Club for a possible drowning. Officials with Salt Lake County Sheriff's Office later confirmed 2 men were hunting when one of them fell into the water. He never came back up. Search and rescue crews and additional resources, including a helicopter, were brought in to look for the man. The body has not yet been found, or had not been found as of 9 o'clock last night. The investigation is, or the incident is under investigation. The sheriff's office say, we think alcohol might have been a contributing factor to this drowning in the Great Salt Lake, or in the Duck Club wetlands, wherever that is. Well, if you like your McDonald's, you like your Quarter Pounder, well, maybe you want to hold off a little bit. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention is investigating an E. coli outbreak in the Mountain West and Midwest that seems to link back to McDonald's Quarter Pounders specifically. Although officials don't know which specific ingredient might be involved, the CDC said McDonald's has pulled ingredients and the burgers will not be available in some states, including Utah. The Public Health Agency told people who had Quarter Pounders and experienced symptoms to see their health care provider. So far, at least 49 illnesses have been documented. 1 person has died. CDC said many others might be affected, but not all cases are reported, as most people recover from E. coli on their own. According to the CDC map, the outbreak has included 26 cases in Colorado, including 1 death of an older adult, 9 cases in Nebraska, and cases in Iowa, Kansas, Missouri, Montana, Oregon. I think there are 4 cases reported here in Utah. They're tracking it, and they think it might be the onions that go on the Quarter Pounder,
because that's the only it's a very specific ingredient that's only in the Quarter Pounder that they don't use on other things. So.
Yeah, I don't. It is kind of strange that they use one kind of onion for the Quarter Pounder, and then and not. I mean, they use onions on other things. I don't know.
But if you are one of these people who likes the idea of, I want less government involved in my life, this is what happens when you have less government and less money going toward inspections that they're able to do.
So what you're saying is if you want less government in your life, you deserve to get E. coli.
I'm just saying
that's what
there's consequences for that.
You're going to get E. coli for sure.
There are consequences for having less government in your life.
Federal lawsuit is accusing Tim Ballard
Oh, boy.
Of causing E. coli. No. 6 women have filed a federal lawsuit against Ballard and the nonprofit he founded, Operation Underground Railroad. The lawsuit alleges that Ballard and OUR violated the Trafficking Victims Protection Reauthorization Act. Ballard and OUR engaged in human trafficking and exploitation of women under the guise of humanitarianism and trafficking operations, according to attorneys for the women. Instead of rescuing women and children from trafficking, these defendants use their position of trust to exploit and abuse and traffic women. The TVPRA provides a civil remedy for victims of trafficking. The lawsuit was filed by Celeste Boris, Kira Lynch, Sasha Hightower, Mary Hall, Krista Casey, and Bree Reiter. They also filed lawsuits against Ballard in 2023. In response, Ballard sued them for defamation in 2024. Matthew Cooper, Michael Porrenta, and M.S. Williams and Company were listed as additional defendants. The women say that they were coerced into performing sex, performing labor and services for Ballard's personal benefit and the benefit of OUR. They were groomed, they said, and controlled to simulate intimate relationships as part of an undercover technique known as the couples ruse. So this is a federal lawsuit now. So the other ones have been state and civil lawsuits. Now this is a federal lawsuit against Tim Ballard. Failed gubernatorial candidate Phil Lyman.
He doesn't think he's failed. He thinks he should be the winner.
Is asking the Utah Supreme Court to oust Governor Spencer Cox and Lieutenant Governor Deidre Henderson from office, kick them both off the 2024 ballot, eliminate John Curtis as the Republican nominee for U.S. Senate, and upend the state's political system. Lyman, a state lawmaker and accountant, and bully, who is acting as his own counsel, contends that due to malfeasance in office, the court should disqualify Cox and Henderson from office and replace them with Utah Senate President Stuart Adams and a lieutenant governor that Adams chooses until after the election.
Now you said Utah Supreme Court.
Yeah,
isn't it the country state?
It is
U.S. Supreme Court.
Yes, I don't know why this story said that.
Yeah, it's not the. He's taking it all the way to the top, and they will do nothing with it.
Good luck with that, Phil.
yeah. He's already done it here. To the Utah Supreme Court.
And they
this is
told him to go home.
He's filing now with the United States Supreme Court.
Phil, we're laughing at you.
Retired General John Kelly, who served as White House Chief of Staff under former President Trump, told the New York Times his old boss believes that he could run the country best as a fascist. In audio released on Tuesday, Kelly said that Trump fits the profile of a far-right authoritarian and that he believed the former president would govern as a fascist if he were elected to a second term. On CNN's Anderson Cooper 360, host Anderson Cooper recited part of a report from The Atlantic published on Tuesday in which Trump was alleged to have previously asked why his generals were not loyal to him in the manner that Hitler's generals were loyal. Cooper then played an audio recording in which Kelly explained that fascism from his perspective and how he thought that Trump viewed the ideology. Kelly said, well, looking at the definition of fascism, it's a far-right authoritarian, ultra-nationalist political ideology and movement characterized by a dictatorial leader, central autocracy, militarism. Again, Mr. Kelly, why did you not speak out and say these things when you were serving Donald Trump? Why?
Well, he did. It's been out there for a while, but nobody's really picked it up, and it's only until now that he's decided he needs to go public. It was in a book earlier.
Well, yeah, it was in a book earlier that he published after
exactly.
he left the serving Trump.
Yeah.
He should have said it while he was there.
Yes.
And I think that's all. Are we out of time here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, one more light story. Do a light story.
How about, here's a light story for you. A teenage Walmart employee has been found dead in a walk-in bakery oven.
No, Bill.
Detectives responded to calls of a sudden death at a store in Halifax, Nova Scotia, and found a deceased woman, 19-year-old woman, was located in a walk-in oven at the Walmart. What?
This is your light story you're ending with?
I didn't say it was light. I said it was just different. Multiple sources say that it was believed that she was trapped in the walk-in oven, and I don't believe that she was baked in the oven. I think she just was trapped in the oven, and there she passed. All right, that's it.
Sports weather traffic.
Delta Center is very busy this week. Last night, Utah Hockey Club lost to the Ottawa Senators 4-0, and it's time for real basketball. This is the real season. It's the real deal. It counts now. Opening night, the Jazz against the Memphis Grizzlies tonight.
The puck drops when?
Puck drops. Oh, I don't have the time here. Utah Hockey Club then will play Thursday, and then Friday it's the Jazz and the Warriors or something every night at the Delta Center downtown. That's your sports. Weather. So today, very warm. We could break another record today. 77 for a high today, and then a cold front's coming in. We could get some rain overnight tonight and quite a bit colder tomorrow, only a high of 57. Traffic, things are looking great. I'm just looking at the UDOT cameras, and I've got no accidents being reported there. Let me check our message stream, see if friends of the program, Infiniteam, has let us know anything out on the roads. You do that via text at 33986. We're also still looking for your things that must go, which we're going to do here in just a few minutes. Email them quickly to us, radiofromhell@x96.com.
There he is. Frank Christ has joined us in the studio. Good morning,
Hello,
Mr.
everyone.
Christ. Hi.
How are you?
I'm okay. I'm feeling fine.
Do you
Just
take
fine.
baseball celebrities, or is that a different?
Sports celebrities?
Well, it all depends. I didn't take this particular player.
Mr. Valenzuela?
Valenzuela. I nearly called him Chico Escuela. No. I don't know the sports. I know celebrities.
Yes, you do.
Frank is the reaper, the grim reaper of celebrity souls, mostly actors. And Frank is what, as you would think a grim reaper would appear. He's a skeletal figure with a robe and a scythe and although this rendition of you that we're showing right now at x96.com/live, you look like a kind of like a little old lady in a house coat.
Well,
with a skeleton face, but
well, I have to wear my helmet.
Yeah.
For
safety first. Safety first.
Frank joins us to play the game we call Frank Chris Presents.
They're fine. They're just fine.
Tickets to Tower of Terror at Salt Lake Film Society's Broadway Center Cinemas is the prize we're going to give if whoever we have on the line can tell us who the dead celebrity is.
All right, and we got somebody there?
It's Eric.
Eric, good morning.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm fine, just fine.
Good. That's good to hear, Eric. Eric, identify the dead celebrity in this list of 4, and you will be going to Tower of Terror at the Broadway. These are, because it's Medical Assistant Day, Frank has given me a list of actors in movies about doctors, specifically. Ooh. All right, here we go.
Ooh, okay.
All right. Okay. Number 1, Barbara McNair. She was a singer who had a huge hit with the song Till There Was You. McNair toured the world as a singer. Then she switched to acting in films and television. She played Sidney Poitier's wife in They Call Me Mr. Tibbs and its sequel, The Organization. Other movies include Spencer's Mountain, Hogan's Heroes, and Venus in Furs. She was in a movie called Change of Habit, in which Elvis Presley plays a doctor. Number 1, Barbara McNair.
Totally believable.
That's absolutely. Number 2, Hector Elizondo. He was in the TV series Chicago Hope and the series Last Man Standing. His film roles include The Taking of Pelham 123, American Gigolo, Leviathan, Pretty Woman, Runaway Bride, The Princess Diaries. He was in the comedy Young Doctors in Love. Number 2 is Hector Elizondo. Number 3, Eddie Marsan. He was in Hancock and in Guy Ritchie's Sherlock Holmes. His other films included 66, Gangs of New York, 21 Grams, The Illusionist, V for Vendetta, and I Want Candy. He had a recurring role on the Showtime series Ray Donovan, his doctor movie, The Professor and the Madman. Number 3 is Eddie Marsan. And finally on the list, Rupert Everett won awards for his role in My Best Friend's Wedding. He played Madonna's best friend in The Next Best Thing. He was a backup vocalist on her cover of American Pie, which is in the film, and he was in a doctor movie called Hysteria. Number 4, Rupert Everett. By the way, the movie Hysteria shows how the medical management of hysteria led to the invention of the vibrator. That's Rupert. Yeah, no kidding. That's number 4, Rupert Everett.
It's an important movie.
Well,
It's very moving.
Yes.
It's very moving.
Yes.
Yeah.
Frank,
Yeah.
look at you.
So which one of those actors is dead, do you think, Eric?
I'm going to go with A.
Number 1, Barbara McNair?
Number 1, yes.
You're
That is
correct.
Barbara
That is
McNair.
correct.
Yes, you are correct. She died in 2007 at the age of 72.
You've got those tickets to the Tower of Terror at Broadway Center Cinemas. You can go see one of the cult classic movies there.
Congratulations, Eric.
And then thank you so much. You guys have a great day.
You too. Hang on, so they can tell you how to get your tickets. All right.
Well, I've got to go check on Dwight Yoakam.
Oh, yeah.
68 today.
He
But,
never looks very healthy.
Never.
He never looks healthy. Hasn't been the same since Julia Roberts left him. Nancy Grace is 65.
Oh, well, check on Nancy Grace as well, please.
When I check on her, I'll go, hello, friend. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Frank.
Things still looking great on your commute this morning. I don't have any accidents being reported by UDOT, and you haven't reported any, Infiniteam. You do that via text if it's safe for you to text 33986.
I think Frank got Dwight Yoakam mixed up with
Yes, he did.
the other guy.
With the Lyle
The other-
Lovett.
Lyle Lovett.
Yes.
Yeah.
So many celebrities to keep track of. It's hard for Frank. KXRK Provo. All right, we will take a break. We will be back after these with your list of things that must go. Stand by for that. Dr. Cobble.
Oh, yes, and he's going to be on the show today, actually. He'll be on our show taking your medical questions a little bit later. There's a different arm to Dr. Cobble's practice, though. It's Canyons Medical Center, and there's an aesthetics arm there. And if you're looking at our YouTube channel, you can see how lovely my skin looks. That's thanks to the aesthetics team.
Can we get a close-up on that, please?
No, truly. I've been working with Brittany there, and what I did was I went in for a free consultation. She looked at my skin. She's like, I think we should start with the Icon IPL laser for you. You've got these little broken blood vessels around your nose. It will take care of those, and it did. I've also started a series of Potenza microneedling. It stimulates collagen, elastin for younger, healthier-looking skin, helps with acne scars, that kind of thing. So if you're ready to transform your skin, start with that free consultation I was telling you about. Canyons Medical Center at 801-666-6650. That's 801-666-6650. Your journey to younger skin starts now.
Theater popcorn.
That's kind of fun if you're having a family movie night.
Yeah.
Oh, Payday has caramel.
That's
Is that
yes,
the
it
difference?
does. Yes, it does.
That's the difference.
And I think maybe salted nut roll is just nougat.
It's just nougat.
Maybe.
I don't know.
That's been years.
Google what's the difference between a Payday and a salted nut roll, and I'll bet it comes right up.
And let's not talk about cherry Olette.
No.
You ever have one of those?
No. What is that? Does that have nuts in it?
I think so. A cherry Olette is and it's kind of round, dome-shaped candy bar thing.
Mm-hmm.
And you bite into it, and it's filled with cherry-flavored cream, as I recall. And I think there might be some nuts.
Yep.
And some little bits of cherry, chewy little cherry.
Delicious.
Bits.
Okay, here we go.
All right.
A Payday candy bar has the same sweet, salty thing going on. Salty peanuts and peanut butter with golden caramel.
Mm.
The salted nut roll has a nougat center.
Has the nougat center.
Okay.
Yeah. I prefer a salted nut roll then.
Mm-hmm. You like the nougats.
But I'm not sure where I can get one. Anytime I go look at the candy bars, I don't see them.
They're not the most common, but I'm sure
I see the Payday all the time, but I don't see the salted nut roll. Who makes the salted nut roll? Does it say?
Let's see.
Is it like M&M Mars or some big company?
Pearson's candy.
Pearson. See, that's why I don't see it as much.
Yeah, I just looked up cherry Olette. Yeah, it has the cherry cream and little bits of chewy cherry inside of
But
it.
no nuts are involved.
I don't think so. I can't.
We're
I'm just looking at a picture.
We're talking nut-specific candies
And
here.
again, we really have to apologize for getting so political with this.
I know, right? A Payday is a Baby Ruth without chocolate.
Okay. Caramel and nuts. Yeah.
And the cherry Olette is also known as Big Cherry, right?
Um,
Because I'm looking at the package and it says Big Cherry on it.
well, the only ones I'm seeing here are cherry Olette. Cherry Olette from the Hoffman Candy Company, 1950s when they started.
There's also Chase's Cherry Mash.
I think I want to try. I've never had a salted nut roll, and now that I'm reading and looking at them, I want a salted
Big
nut
Cherry is a different candy
Is that a
bar.
different one?
Yeah, it's a different.
Because I've had the Big Cherry. I don't think I've had the Cherry Olette because I recognize that package.
The Big Cherry is a huge mound of milk chocolate sprinkled with peanuts containing a whole cherry in a rich, creamy center.
Yeah, I've had that one. I thought that's what a Cherry Olette was.
No,
but
a
I
Cherry
guess it's a
Olette
Big
is
Cherry.
different candy bar.
Let's have candy
What's
later
the
today.
oldest candy bar being made?
Are you asking me, or do
Well,
you
I'm
have
just-
it there?
Yeah, it just popped up. Apparently, the oldest candy bar still being made is Toblerone.
Toblerone.
Created in Switzerland in 1908 by Emil Bowman and Theodore Tobler.
Somebody said if I go to Holiday Oil, they have a Pearson's salted nut roll.
Oh, there you go.
Do you guys have any more of those ass hats? I sure could use one. I'm going to Costco later. So don't know.
Huh?
All right.
I don't.
You know the ones speaking of Costco. Oh,
yeah.
What?
You get a big container of that. How do you say it? Ferrero Rocher.
Yeah.
Oh, the
Ferrero
little
Rocher.
The
individually
gold-
wrapped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
You like
there
those?
you go. You put those in a big bowl and just with your movie popcorn, and you eat them.
You know what the oldest candy company or the oldest candy bar still being made is?
Toblerone.
No. Well,
Because those
the
are
oldest.
still
I'm
around.
sorry, the oldest candy company.
Oh.
The oldest candy company in America, Ye Old Pepper Candy Company in Salem.
Has it always been Ye Old?
I
Or
think
did they
so.
change it after a while?
I think so. I don't know
Can
what.
you start off being Ye Old something?
Oh, now look what they've done to the salted nut roll. They've flavored.
Said, I have a thing that must go, and she texted that from Sandy. No, Jane, you got to email us your things that must go. radiofromhell@x96.com.
Sandy. I don't know how many times we've told Jane that.
I don't know. She keeps screwing up.
All right. Things that must go now. Brought to you by.
Brought to you by Nightingale College, provides the opportunity for an ideal work-life balance from the comfort of your home with 100% online nursing classes and no waiting list. Become a Nightingale nurse. Apply for their upcoming spring semester at nightingale.edu.
Thank you.
Things that must go on the radio from Hell Show.
These are things that are really, really, really bugging you. Things that you can't stand anymore. You say to yourself, I know. I'm gonna tell Radio from Hell all about this, and maybe it'll make me feel better, and maybe these things will disappear from my life. Sometimes that does happen. So all you have to do is send your must goes, put must go in the subject line, and then email it to radiofromhell@x96.com. Gina.
I know this has happened to everybody at least once. You're in a hotel room, and you plug in your phone to charge it overnight.
Yep.
And you wake up in the morning and you realize that outlet does not have any power going to it.
It's probably like a switch on the wall or something.
Something, and you have to start your day with a dead phone battery.
You know what I do?
What?
I check.
I mean,
to make sure that it's charging.
But the second night I did for sure. I went around the room and looked for one that worked. But the first night, nope. And then you spend the rest of the day, because you're out all day and you're at a restaurant. You bring your charger with you, and you're like, "Well, I'll charge it at the restaurant, and I'll charge it." You never get a full charge. Let's see. I got two about elevators. One from our friend Dr. Mike, and one from Parker. What must go is the lack of elevator etiquette. Let people out of the elevator before you try to get on.
Yeah.
This works for buses, taxis. And then Parker says, people who enter the elevator you're already in and proceed to mash the close door button. It's not going to close any faster. That button doesn't do anything. Let's see. Then we have this from Angie. What's the point of voting if the Electoral College has the ultimate power to decide? The Electoral College must go. I agree with that.
Yep.
Also,
yes.
Let's see. This is from John. The entire fraud prevention team at Chase Bank. They've shut down my credit card in error no less than 5 times in the last month.
Wow.
And then finally this from Mike. Things that must go. Candle wax. I mean candy corn for Halloween candy must go.
Katie's shaking her head. You like candy corn, don't you?
I do like candy corn.
I like it okay, too.
Yeah.
I like it all right. I'll go next. Let's see. I've got this one says, just one today, going to shake someone's hand, and they say, I'm a hugger. And then they try to hug me. Please stop.
Yeah.
If you don't know me, especially,
Yeah.
I'm not hugging you.
Yeah.
I think this one's from my wife. My wife doesn't even like me to hug her. She does not care for hugging at all. Let's see. This one says, my thing that must go is my date admitting that she would rather order chicken nuggets at a sushi restaurant.
What?
Do they have?
Let her order what she wants.
Do they have chicken nuggets here?
Well, my question is why did you take her to a sushi restaurant?
Well, if it's a first date, maybe you don't know.
You don't know that she's such a picky eater?
Or you don't, or when they go to the restaurant, she doesn't say, "This is sushi. I don't really care for a sushi. Can we go somewhere else?"
Yeah.
Well, you don't have to go somewhere else if they have chicken nuggets on the menu. This is fine. This is not a problem.
Do they have chicken nuggets on sushi restaurants?
Not at the sushi place I go to.
Me either. Me either. This one is very long. I'm going to have to skim through a bunch of it. Musco's Disneyland edition. As every other Utah family, we headed to Disneyland for fall break. With that, I have some Muscos from this trip, a handful of behaviors that I've seen from Disney adults. These are adults, by the way, with no children at Disney. I myself am not an amusement park fan. I am solely here for my kids. So I may already be annoyed at things that I don't understand from adults going without kids.
Could be.
Sighing when characters are spending longer time with kids. Why are you in this line to begin with? Do you really need to wait 20 minutes to take a picture with Pluto? The pictures are only out for short time frames. You understand, this isn't the real Moana. You know that, don't you? My daughter does not understand that, and you're taking away from some magic moments for the kids.
Exactly. I would rather watch that than and have the character walk away and not get a photo. Yeah. I'd rather watch that.
Getting upset that strollers exist. One group of 30-something said, I wish they wouldn't allow strollers in the park. Getting upset that kids have bubble wands. My kid did not have a bubble wand, but I'm not just being salty about a remark toward my own kid. However, these are sold every 40 feet in the park, and all the kids love shooting the bubbles and being covered in the bubbles. And a lady in the group of grumpy ladies said, my clothes are getting bubbles on them.
It's not hurting them.
This one's clogging up the lines for the rides that are made for very small children. Today, the wait was over an hour for the Little Mermaid ride. Now, I myself do not understand waiting in a line for over an hour for any ride, but definitely I don't understand it for a ride like this. If it wasn't for my kids, I would describe this wait as so what they're saying here is that it's adults waiting in line and making the line longer than it has to be.
Well, that's not.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to control.
Yeah, the adult wants to ride the ride as well.
Yeah, and then finally, the foul language and scandalous dressing. I'm not a prude, but these things don't normally upset me. But when you're at a place for kids, why do you dress like a slut? And why do you have conversations loudly that are inappropriate for children to hear? Please stop. I could continue, but I will let it go from here.
Yeah, you want to have those kind of conversations. You go to Trader Sam's, the bar up there by the hotel, and then you have it there.
Yeah, All right, that's it. Carrie?
All right. Let's see. This one from does not say who these people are, so I'll just read them for you. Smith's grocery store changing the location of all the items I usually shop for.
I hate when that happens.
I know. It's just...
It's so time-consuming searching everywhere now. People dragging their flip-flops and not picking up their feet. It's so annoying. Harley riders revving their engines while next to me at a light. Nobody is impressed. Go watch the South Park episode to find out what people think of you. Here, try this. Roll down the window and go, ooh, you're so interesting. Let's see. Here's another one. Rude neighbors must go. I moved into a new apartment complex, and while getting coffee one morning, I got flipped off by another driver after I gestured to go ahead since they were in a rush. Little do they know we live in the same community. I'm willing to say nothing to keep the peace. My other must go is the urge to egg this person's car and apartment door. I think you should do it.
Things that must go on the radio from Hell Show.
Northbound right 2 lane State Street between 78 South and 80 South will be closed tomorrow from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. for road maintenance. The left lane will remain open for travel. I give you that heads up for tomorrow because there's nothing really going on right now. I don't have anything on UDOT, and you haven't sent anything in via text. But you can if you see something. 33986 is where you do that.
All right.
Got boners coming up. Here are the candidates you'll be looking at this time. Boner candidate number 1. Glenn has his good and evil reversed. Boner candidate number 2. Elon makes another baseless allegation. And, oh, look, number 3, it's Elon Musk again. Elon thinks that assassination is funny.
Yeah. All right, we got big boy news and innuendo, boners, all coming up after these messages and a song. Stand by. BigOTires.com.
They are the team I trust.
Well, not just you. I trust them, too. I
So
go to
there's
the
two
one
of
on
us.
Highland Drive.
I go to the one on you too, Gary?
I trust them.
So let's say then that Big O Tires is the team we trust. Okay, BigOTires.com is where you want to go to make an appointment online. See what find the store near you. Find the Big O Tire store near you by going to BigOTires.com and get to know them. Big O is your true one-stop shop for automotive repair. Stop in for not just tires, as we said, but wheels, alignment, rotation, balances, oil changes, brakes, battery, shocks, all of that kind of stuff. Big O offers free tire rotations, air checks, alignment checks, check engine light checks, all of that stuff as well. Big O Tires. The service can be an unexpected expense. They know that, so they have financing for every budget. Go to BigOTires.com. They are the team you trust.
I have something if you want.
What do you have?
Well, it's some people I understand. It's something that they love. They're very
Lists?
yes.
Oh, I thought you were going to say cookies or something like
Oh,
that.
they do love cookies.
Pecan sandies or something.
Mm.
Anyway,
Most
all right.
people love cookies.
It's Radio from Hell with another list, because people love a good list. X96.
It's a list of actors who almost lost their lives while filming.
Almost.
Almost.
Okay.
Okay.
See how many of these you know. Harrison Ford
Does not surprise me.
in his iconic role as Han Solo. Now imagine the hydraulic door of the Millennium Falcon falling on him. Yes, it happened. He broke his leg.
Mm-hmm.
You knew this,
Really?
Kerry Jackson.
I did.
Jeez.
This was during The Force Awakens.
Oh, see,
Yeah.
so he was older.
Yes.
Let's see. The next one is Orlando Bloom playing
In, Legolas?
Yeah, Legolas.
Mhm.
While attempting to scale a rain-slick rock, he fell, narrowly avoiding what could have been a much worse fate. But Middle-earth's favorite elf still had many arrows left in his quiver and continued his quest. Let's see, Jason Statham,
Well,
Hollywood's go-to for high-octane sequences. He had an unexplained dive in the Black Sea after a truck's brakes failed. Using his real-life diving expertise, of course. Jason's the kind of, he's got skills
Yes.
outside of acting. He emerged wet but unharmed. But yeah, brakes failed and truck drove into the ocean. Uma Thurman. Uma Thurman.
Yeah.
You probably heard this story before from Kill Bill. Maybe
Oh,
you
wow,
haven't.
when she was driving?
Yeah. Uma doesn't know how to drive.
Yeah.
And the bride actually does a lot of driving in the movie. Thurman said, okay, I'll do it. She tried to get out of do it, and Quentin was kind of an ass about it, I think, making her drive the car.
yeah.
She crashed into a palm tree. She had knee injuries and a concussion. And yeah, Quentin.
Well, I just rewatched those recently, actually, and there's a couple of scenes where she pulls up in the car in front of Bill's house, and when she stops to talk to a guy who knows where Bill is. And, yeah.
But I mean, that's what stunt people are for.
Yeah.
Do you really
I would
need
think
Uma
you could do
Thurman
that.
driving?
Yeah.
Michael J. Fox, in an eerily realistic hanging scene, Fox misjudged his prop and genuinely started choking. This is from Back to the Future Part 3, a Wild Westy one. A sharp-eyed crew member said, "Wait a minute, he's not acting. He's really joking."
Man, he's a good actor.
He really looks like
he's really believable.
Johnny Depp in The Lone Ranger.
We were hoping.
Attempting to ride his horse, he faced an unexpected fall and was almost trampled, narrowly dodging the hooves. Depp's tumble was more than just close. Of course, our good friends from Creature Encounters put had creatures around him too. Let's see, Isla Fisher in the movie Now You See Me. This was the magic one.
Yeah.
It was meant to be an amazing act of illusion. Isla Fisher went inside a water tank trying to make an escape, but fiction quickly turned to chilling reality. Fisher's chains truly trapped her. She felt like she was drowning, and she was stuck under the water. She battled for air for an agonizing 3 minutes, while the crew initially mistook her genuine panic for it's excellent acting. She is panicking. Thankfully, they fished her out. But let's see, we have Joseph Gordon-Levitt. This is from the movie Premium Rush. So he's a bike messenger in New York.
Yeah.
He was pedaling at a breakneck speed, but New York City's unpredictable nature struck. He found himself crashing right into the rear window of a taxi. He had 31 stitches from that.
Wow.
Charlize Theron and Anne Flux. She played an acrobatic assassin. While executing a series of complicated moves, she took a fall, severely injuring her neck. I've actually heard her talk about this. She was on that Smartless podcast talking about it. The recovery was intense, and she still deals with that to this day.
Yeah.
Sylvester Stallone in Rocky IV. I mean, it's a boxing movie. Stallone asked co-star Dolph Lundgren to hit him for real. That was a mistake.
Yeah, you don't.
Lundgren accepted, landing a blow that sent Stallone to the ICU with his heart swelling.
Yes.
Oh, jeez.
Dolph Lundgren, again, was a real athlete before. He wasn't an actor.
And he's like genius level, apparently.
Yeah,
He's like super smart.
Yeah, he's a biochemist or something.
Some kind of thing like that, yeah.
Jackie Chan in Armor of God. He was supposed to do a daredevil leap from a castle wall to a tree.
Well, the Jackie Chan list could be.
Yeah, I'm sure.
This
He's
entire
got
list.
several broken.
But yeah.
This one's bad, though. He had a skull fracture.
Yeah.
And he has a plastic plug in his skull to kind of hold it together. George Clooney in Syriana. His character was subjected to a brutal torture scene. George severely injured his spine during that scene. And again, same thing. He still deals with that to this day.
Not in Leatherheads?
Margot Robbie in Suicide Squad.
Oh, yeah.
She was handcuffed and trapped in a submerged car. Same kind of thing we've seen before. The rising water levels. She actually was having a hard time getting out of it. They had to intervene and rescue her from the submerged car. Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible Fallout.
Yeah.
This is jumping between buildings. You've heard this story before because he broke his ankle and it stopped filming for weeks and weeks and weeks.
He continued the scene with a broken ankle, but
Vigo in Lord of the Rings during the river scene. Mortensen was pulled from raging currents. He was stuck in the river, couldn't get out. Well, those, the armor's so heavy.
He did a fight scene in a movie called Eastern Promises, where he was totally nude in a steam room with knives, fighting with knives.
Nude with knives?
Yeah, and I just don't know how he's wrestling this other guy, and I thought, how is he not getting cut or hurt or, geez.
He probably did. So there you go. There's your list.
All right. Thank you very much.
It's Radio from Hell with another list, because people love a good list. X96.
Big boy news and opinioendo, but first, boner of the day. 3 news stories. These will be examples of bad, stupid, or funny human behavior, and you will decide with your vote. Of these 3 candidates, which one is the worst? Which one deserves to be boner of the day for today It's the 23rd of October, 2024. We'll give you two candidates now, a third after the news. And once you've heard all three, then you will vote. One of you lucky random boner voters will receive.
Can't buy it, gotta win it. Radio from Hell boner T-shirt.
Boner candidate number one, Glenn has his good and evil completely reversed, as far as I can tell. This is a long story in the Deseret News today about Glenn Beck, who lives in a ranch.
A bunker?
No, he lives in a ranch house just north of the Utah border in Idaho. It doesn't say exactly where it is here. It says in the pocket of a little-known canyon just north of the Utah border. And he broadcasts his program of conservative commentary 5 days a week, 9 to noon, all summer long there at the ranch house before he goes back to Texas for the fall and then works in Texas. It's called Standing Rock Ranch. And it's full of artifacts that he's collected over the years. He's very into Lincoln memorabilia. He has the key to the box that Lincoln sat in when he was assassinated, watching the play Our American Cousin. He has the key to that box. He has all kinds of Lincoln memorabilia. And he has a white buffalo head mounted on the wall, which he says is sacred. It's a sacred buffalo. White buffalo, sacred to the Native American people. And the writer here of the story said, the tufts of the white buffalo hair echoing Glenn Beck's tufts of white hair.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, but here's where Glenn really gets it. The way Beck sees it, Donald Trump versus Kamala Harris is, without exaggeration, he says, a decision of divine clarity, a choice between good versus evil. Good versus evil. And what does he say that is? The Democratic nominee represents censorship of free will.
No.
That's the evil against the good of a Republican offering the messiness of reality.
The censorship of free will, like removing a woman's right to the freedom to decide what happens to her body?
Among other
things.
things.
Talking about, Glenn?
He's got it just backwards.
Yes.
Good versus evil. Good is Donald Trump? Really, Glenn?
See, Glenn wants to be able to say hateful things and not feel any repercussions. That's what they mean by freedom of speech. That's what they mean. And secondly, never forget, Glenn Beck is radio scum. Glenn Beck started as a morning zoo DJ.
And he still is, kind of.
And when he failed at that, he found the right-wing hate machine paid really well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Beck says we need to restore the principles founded in faith and in the U.S. Constitution. But
whose faith?
That good and evil thing just drives me
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah, it's good versus evil, pure and simple. And the good is Donald Trump?
I don't think so.
Boner candidate number one. Here's boner candidate number two. Elon makes another baseless allegation. Elon Musk has ripped into Eminem after he showed support for Kamala Harris by accusing him of being a participant in one of Sean Combs' infamous parties.
How would Elon know this?
Billionaire Musk, evidently not a fan of Eminem. His politics were on full display when he attended Kamala Harris's campaign rally in Detroit yesterday. And he introduced Barack Obama, former President Barack Obama, to the stage, where the unlikely duo proceeded to rap together a little bit. We played some of that earlier. The introduction plans were revealed shortly after the campaign rally took place, but it didn't sit well with Elon Musk. In response to Eminem's political stance, Elon decided to make a bold accusation against Eminem on Twitter. He said, he's another Diddy party participant. As a matter of fact, no. There is no evidence to support that. No. As a matter of fact, Eminem has been very outspoken against Sean Combs.
Yeah.
He's not cared for him even before all of these revelations have come forward. Eminem has not been connected to any of Diddy's alleged crimes. No. He has been one of the most vocal critics of Sean Combs for decades. But Elon Musk can say, "Oh, he's one of those. He's been."
And people will take that. It doesn't require any fact checking at all. They will just take what Elon says at face value, and that can be damaging.
That's boner candidate number 2. Elon makes another baseless allegation, and coming up, boner candidate number 3. Oh, look, it's Elon Musk again. He thinks assassination is funny.
All right. Boner candidate number 3 coming up after this. Big Boy News and Opinioendo brought to you by.
Do you wish you had younger, healthier-looking skin? The elite aesthetics team at Canyons Medical Center can help make your wish a reality. Visit canyonsmedical.com. Go to the services menu for details.
Utah is partnering with Utah's major health care companies and community groups to launch a new initiative designed to lower costs and provide greater accessibility to health care. On Tuesday, Governor Spencer Cox stood on a stage at the Utah State Capitol Rotunda with healthcare executives and state health leaders to unveil the Utah Model of Care. It's a plan to rework Utah's healthcare system. It's really about making sure that Utahns have good health outcomes, said Tracy Gruber, the executive director of Utah's Department of Health and Human Services. In order to achieve that, you need all players and everyone at the table. Everyone apparently is at the table, including companies like Intermountain Health, University of Utah Health, and Regenerative Blue Cross Blue Shield. As we want to look at how to improve health in Utah and also lower the costs of care, we all have to work together. Without that overreaching vision and focus that we all have to own and participate in, we would not be successful alone. For Intermountain, this is a great opportunity to partner with our and help our communities, said Susan Roble, the Canyons Regional President for Intermountain Health. The plan includes new ideas to make healthcare more accessible, more efficient, including more convenient hours or an expansion of telehealth services. I don't know why, but I'm sort of suspicious of this
I
whole
was
thing.
just going to say the same thing. You've got all of these, medical people and Cox up there. I'm immediately suspicious.
It says we want to make healthcare more efficient, reward outcomes for healthy living.
It sounds good.
Yeah, it does. I'm just not.
You're just suspicious.
You're waiting for the butt.
Yeah, I'm just kind of suspicious of this whole thing. It's not an instant cure. It's a 15-year plan, but with buy-in from healthcare companies and patient advocates, it'll start to be implemented in the next couple of years. The Utah State Legislature may be called upon to pass bills and fund items under the Utah Model of Care umbrella. Like they've funded Medicaid. How they haven't really done that completely.
Yeah.
Let's see. Phil Lyman. Here's the story. Phil Lyman is asking the United States Supreme Court now. He's filing an appeal with the U.S. Supreme Court seeking to toss out the state's gubernatorial primary election and make him the Republican Party nominee. But the author of the 10-year-old bill that gives candidates a signature-gathering route to the primary ballot, known as Senate Bill 54, that's State Senator Kurt Bramble of Provo, said by pursuing additional legal challenges, Lyman is ignoring the fundamental premise of the state's dual path compromise to primary qualification. It is the people's ballot, not the party's ballot. Lyman argues that as the Republican convention winner, he has standing to question Senate Bill 54. Lyman cites the state party constitution, which says a candidate who receives more than 60% of state delegates at the convention shall proceed to the general election. Lyman won the party's nomination at the convention in April, but Republican Party election voters chose Spencer Cox by about 2 percentage points in June.
They had a primary.
Or 9 percentage points. I know.
There was vote. The people voted.
They did. There was Phil Lyman and Spencer Cox,
Yeah,
and then the people voted in the primary, and they said, "No, we don't want Phil Lyman."
I just don't understand. Is he crazy, or is he? You've met him. Is he just filled with hubris, or
he's belligerent about everything?
Oh, okay.
He's
and he's right and never wrong.
Yeah, he's just very belligerent, and that's exactly the way to put it, Gina. He feels that he's always right. Russia is using fake videos and phony social media accounts to target Vice President Kamala Harris as the U.S. presidential election draws closer, according to a new report from Microsoft. The Kremlin's influence operations initially struggled to pivot operations aimed at the Democratic campaign following President Biden's departure from the presidential race in July, researchers at Microsoft's Threat Analysis Center wrote. But starting in August, influence campaigns, the company has been tracking, they've churned out content about Harris and her running mate, Governor Tim Walz. The shift to focusing on Harris and Walz campaign reflects a strategic move by Russian actors aimed at exploiting any perceived vulnerabilities in the new candidates. That's according to Clint Watts, the general manager of the Threat Analysis Center. In recent weeks, the U.S. government has stepped up efforts to call out and disrupt Russian influence operations. Microsoft report identified a number of recent Russian-backed campaigns that shifted focus to Harris. That include baseless claims accusing Harris of being involved in a hit-and-run accident in 2011. That's not true.
Yeah, not true.
Then there's another one about Tim Walz. Some apparently former students said that Tim Walz tried to kiss him and fondle him.
Never happened.
Never happened. No. It never happened.
But it doesn't matter. That you just put it out there, and enough people will take it at face value, and that damage is done.
But you know what did happen? Donald Trump waded through floodwaters to help people.
The latest fallout is, once the feds found out that Russian money was being sent to a lot of these right-wing hate machine podcasts, they're starting to quit. Tim Pool announced that he's done because he was getting most of his money from Russia.
Yeah, he's just not getting any money.
Getting any money, so he says, we're done. Yeah. We're done.
And finally this, until they hear the words, "You may kiss the bride," one engaged couple is refusing to kiss. Caitlin O'Neill and Drew Brown, both 21, have been in a relationship for almost 4 years. They have never kissed. When O'Neill wrote, "Disclaimer, you don't have to kiss to get a ring," in a TikTok video of their recent proposal, the internet had a lot to say about it. Some users called the newlywed couple's decision to take their time with physical intimacy special, while others commented that the no-kiss choice is crazy. But they say, "We are not going to kiss until the minister says you may kiss the bride." Now, I don't know how they stand on other kinds of physical intimacy. It's the kissing that they're not going to do.
I believe they aren't engaging in any kind of physical intimacy.
You don't think so?
No.
Well, I
mean, it's their choice. I find it strange that you are going to bind yourself for life to somebody without.
I'm predicting that they when he says you may kiss the bride, they kiss and one of them goes, "God, that's disgusting."
Wait, am I doing this right?
It's disgusting. I'm not, and then I think that they'll just break up at that point. Right
Too
there.
much tongue. Too much tongue.
They're really a sweet-looking couple, though. All right, that's it.
I worry for them.
I don't, because I don't care. All right.
It's okay.
Weather, traffic.
So we could break another record today, 77 for a high. And then things will change overnight. There's a chance of a thunderstorm, but at the very least, a cold front is moving through tonight into tomorrow. We're much colder tomorrow, 57 for a high tomorrow. We warm back up into the 70s for the weekend, but tomorrow looks to be pretty chilly. Traffic, let's see. Heads up for drivers. Northbound right 2 lanes on State Street between 78 South and 80 South will be closed tomorrow, October 23rd from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. For road maintenance. The leftmost lane will remain open for travel. And most everything open for travel right now. I'm looking at the UDOT cameras, and everything seems to be moving well. Let's check our message stream, see if friends of the program have sent in any traffic updates. Nope, you haven't sent anything either, but you can. Even if things are moving well, you can let us know that. Text it to us, 33986. Haster Games for board games, Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, miniatures, dice paints, and more. Haster Games, 6831 South State or HasterGames.com.
Here's boner candidate number 3. Oh, look, it's Elon Musk again. He thinks assassination is funny. He keeps trying to stick his joke about somebody assassinating Vice President Kamala Harris. Over the weekend, Musk remarked again, "No one's even bothering to try and kill Kamala," while he was speaking in a house of God. Acting as a Donald Trump surrogate, in addition to the $75 million money man behind a leading Trump super PAC, Musk spoke Saturday night at the Life Center megachurch in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, which is notable for launching the career of Christian supremacist God rocker Sean Fucht, who I don't know who that is. The event made news for Musk promised cash giveaway. He's pledged a daily $1 million sweepstakes for registered swing state voters who sign his super PAC petition about supporting the First and Second Amendment, free speech, and access to guns. The Second Amendment, Musk insisted, is there to protect the First Amendment. But Musk also used this pro-gun rally to attempt, for at least the third time, to land his joke about somebody making an attempt on the life of Kamala Harris. Musk's joke is steeped in a conspiracy theory that Washington is controlled by what he called the Uniparty, or the machine, which he darkly and without evidence links to the recent attempts on Trump's life. I just call it the machine, the big government machine, Musk said. And when Biden puppet was not working out, they got a new puppet, but it's still the same machine, obviously. And he said, Donald Trump is not a puppet. He's a real person, and that's why they're trying to kill him. But nobody's trying to kill Kamala. Nobody's bothering.
Is it such a machine? I mean, really? Because you get most of your money from the government. Government subsidies, Elon. That's what's paying for SpaceX. That's what's paying for Starlink, a lot of it.
So this is the third time. Nobody's trying to kill Kamala. Boner candidate number 3, Elon Musk.
All right, let's review the first two and vote.
Boner candidate number 1 is Glenn Beck. He said this election is all about good versus evil. The evil is Kamala Harris, and the good is Donald Trump. Boner candidate number 2, Elon Musk, saying that Eminem was a participant in the Sean Diddy Combs parties. No, he wasn't. There is no. As a matter of fact, he's not like Sean Combs. Eminem has been critical of him for years. And boner candidate number 3, oh, look, it's Elon Musk again, making his sick jokes again about nobody trying to kill Kamala Harris.
All right, time to vote for your boner of the day. Which one is the worst? Which one should be boner of the day? 1, 2, or 3? Remember your candidate number, the one that you think should win. Put that single digit in the message of a text, and then text that to 33986. Here they come. Yeah, the computer will count them and makes it easy for us. Or you can call the producer's booth. They'll take your live voice vote at 877-602-9696. Or you can go online, x96.com. Look for the box that says Boner of the Day 102324. Click and vote. If you don't see that box, refresh your browser. It'll appear. Click and vote. All right, you've got until the end of this commercial break to get your vote in, so let's get to it. Then, of course, Dr. Cobble will be here. So once we award the boner of the day, get your questions ready for Dr. Cobble. Medical questions. He is a doctor. 877-602-9696. Call and talk to Dr. Cobble after we award boner of the day. Let's see.
I have a list.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I heard you say that you had a list.
Yeah. Oh.
It's Radio from Hell with another list, because people love a good list. X96.
the list is 5 things you should never, ever say on a second date.
Should never say on a second date.
You have a good first date. Things are going well. You want to
Let's
move
do
on
this
to
again.
the second date.
Second date? Okay.
Take a breath, relax, you're nervous.
Let's see if
this might be the one, you don't know.
I mean, it's been a long time since I've had a second date, so let's see how I did.
And I don't know who put this list together, but...
All right.
Number 1.
Okay.
What are your parents like? Now you're thinking, oh, you're making small talk.
Yeah, that sounds like small talk to me.
It can sound, though, like you're already planning the wedding. Wait a minute. You're wanting to know about my family?
I want to know about your genes.
Yeah, what am I...
Is there any madness in your family?
Yeah. This says, don't assume that just because you talk to your mother every day on the phone that he does too.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
Number 2, I love babies.
Yeah, that's not. I never wanted to hear that on any date, frankly.
5, 6, 10.
And I love babies, and you have nice wide hips.
This is babies are great, but not a second date topic. Sounds like you are baby hungry, and you might scare somebody off.
And this is
men or women.
Men or women.
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
How many people have you slept with?
Ooh.
Now, this is a conversation you should have, but maybe not second date conversation.
Why is that a conversation you should have?
Well, after you've dated people for a while, you can discuss it.
I never would ask that question of anyone.
Ever?
Not of somebody. I mean, I might ask it of you or Carrie, but I wouldn't ask it of somebody I was in a relationship with. I have no idea.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Oh, yeah, that's...
Sounds like a job interview.
I had a girl ask me that.
Or they want to know if you're good marriage material.
Yeah.
Are you going to be making good money 10 years from now?
Are you going to be doing this radio thing in another 5 or 10 years?
I'm not sure. Is there any madness in your family?
And number 5.
Okay.
Why would you say this? Do you like me? Boy, it sounds desperate.
Sounds desperate.
Much.
And, kind of.
And I think you'll know if somebody likes you.
I would hope you would know.
Would people really ask that?
I don't know. This
might be some people
on the
like
list. Do you like me? Yeah, that would be an instant turnoff, I think. Because you're insecure.
I was
clearly.
just curious. You seem to like me, but I don't know. Do you really like me?
Which I'd say, well, we're on a second date. This is a strange question.
I like you enough to go on a second date.
Yeah. All right.
So that's just five things you should never say.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think you should ever ask how many people somebody has slept with. If they want to volunteer that somehow, but don't ever ask.
Yeah, you never ask that. For sure.
We hope you'd enjoyed another list with Radio from Hell on X96.
You know why? Because I think you don't want.
You don't want to know.
You really don't want to find out.
And you don't want to answer that question either, do you?
I have, but answered it. My answer is I don't remember.
And that's an honest answer.
It's an honest answer.
It is.
Yeah. Well, I won't be needing that list anytime soon, I'm sure.
No. But somebody up listening might.
All right. All right, 7:48. Let's award the boner.
And it's brought to you in part by a delicious dinner.
A non-specific delicious
Yes,
dinner?
it was just it was squash and it was pork tenderloin and it was delicious.
And Feldman's Deli, Utah's authentic Jewish deli with expanded hours, now open Tuesday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. Breakfast till 10:30, lunch, dinner, live music Fridays and Saturdays. More information at feldmansdeli.com.
Man, this is a lot of voting. I mean, there's a lot of voting here. All the candidates got very substantial votes. But number 3, Elon Musk, once again, joking about Kamala Harris being...
Tell me the Secret Service hasn't visited him and told him that you can get in big trouble for saying things like that?
I know some feds have talked to him about this whole $1 million voter thing.
That's a
that
whole
he's been
separate
doing.
thing, yeah.
Yeah, I know that he's been visited as far as that goes.
Glenn Beck almost beat him, but no. Elon Musk, boner candidate number 3, boner of the day.
That's your boner of the day for today, 23rd of October, 2024. Now qualified to be boner of the week. Dr. Cobble's on the phone.
Dr. Michael Cobble is with us. Good morning, Dr. Cobble.
Is this
Good morning.
Is this sponsored, Gina?
Yeah, do you wish you had younger, healthier-looking skin? The Elite Aesthetics team at Canyons Medical Center can help make your wish a reality. Visit canyonsmedical.com. Go to the services menu for details. Canyons Medical Center, that's where Dr. Cobble is. The aesthetic side is one side, but we have him on every other week or so to answer your medical questions.
So anything that's bugging you, anything that hurts, anything that you're wondering about with your health, you can call right now and ask Dr. Cobble. 877-602-9696 is the number. 877-602-9696. We already have a call. Somebody's been waiting for knowing that you're coming, Dr. Cobble. So let's get right to it.
Brandon.
Brandon. Hi, Brandon. Brandon?
Nope,
Brandon.
Nope, we might
Brandon.
need a different...
Brandon, are you calling from space?
No, man.
There you go. There you go.
Coming from the old SLC.
Okay, you're good now. What's your question for the doctor?
Say, doctor, so I got this pain that comes right in between my thumb and my index finger, and it's like just this searing pain that just comes, and it's like I would happen to liken it like being struck by lightning, man. And it's crazy. It only lasts for a second or two, but it'll wake me up out of a dead sleep, and I'm just worried. Like, man, what if that pain stayed for more than a minute? I would lose my mind.
Sounds like carpal tunnel to me.
Thanks, Dr. Barberi. What do you think, What do you think, Dr. Cobble?
Well, it sounds like a nerve impingement of some kind. So whether it's from the carpal group or some other area, it sounds like a nerve impingement. And I think it's worth seeing a hand doctor or a regular doctor and just talk about how long it's been bothering you when you notice it being a problem. But it sounds like a nerve impingement.
And that's pretty easily fixable.
I mean, it happens out of nowhere.
Yeah, it's pretty easily fixable, I think.
Yeah, I would definitely see either a hand doctor or a regular doctor, and they can direct you further.
Yeah. Okay.
Right on, Doc.
Okay.
Thanks,
See ya.
kid.
Yeah.
See ya.
Thank you.
You know, if Trump wins the election, I'm going to move to the carpal.
The Carpal Islands.
The Carpal Islands, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
877-602-9696. That's the number to call for Dr. Cobble, and Zane is on line 2. Hi, Zane.
Good morning. How is everybody?
Just fine. What's your question?
Dr. Cobble, I was wondering what home remedies can be done for cyclic vomiting syndrome.
For what?
Cyclic vomiting syndrome.
That's a toughie. I mean, number one, finding what the cause of it is. Some people find ginseng can be complementary, or ginger, so ginger root, or some people like little ginger ale, but ginger root may help with nausea or vomiting.
My wife and my youngest get car sick fairly easily. And so whenever we're on a trip, they take ginger, and that seems to
powdered ginger root, ginger ale. Those things are really good for stomach and nausea.
Yeah. You may want to try going to like an Asian market and finding ginger candy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Yeah.
Great
Thank
question.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good luck.
877-602-9696. You can also text questions for Dr. Cobble. You got something that's bugging you? Well, then call or text.
Here's a text. I've had minor pain along my Achilles tendon since June. Should I get it checked out?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like Achilles tendonitis, and physical therapy is usually fantastic for that. They can teach you stretching and different range of motion techniques. If it's just been short-term like you're describing, it's good to jump after it now. If it's long-term, I worry more about arthritis or leg length discrepancy or other issues. But it sounds like some Achilles tendonitis from whatever shoes you're wearing or activities you've been doing.
leg length discrepancy, like one leg is longer than the other? Is that the...
Yep, if one is shorter or longer, that can cause a lot of ankle and back and Achilles problems.
All right.
Let's see. I've had an earache for over a month. No infection, confirmed by doctor, neurologist, said it would be migraine-related. Help.
Well, it sounds like you've been to a doctor.
Yeah, so shut up.
No.
So what you're...
No,
you've been to a doctor? What are you asking us about it
What
for?
did that doctor say to do?
I mean, that's tough. The earache, migraines present a lot of different ways. Typically, I find if somebody has an earache and they don't have an ear infection or sinus infection or something obvious on the exam, I usually have them go to a dentist and get x-rays to make sure they don't have a cavity. And that's typically what I find is they've got a cavity or something that's affecting the nerve from the tooth area that radiates it, and they don't have pain in the tooth area or the mouth area. It's just up in the ear. So if you haven't seen a dentist in the last 3 months, I'd probably go see them first. And I've actually had people sent back by the dentist saying, they must have an infection somewhere, and then they didn't get x-rays, and they go to another dentist and they had a cavity. And so sometimes maybe see another doctor, or but it's possible migraine. I just think of a migraine more of temporal headaches or different presentation than just an earache.
And back to Zane, we get a texter that says a lot of gas station and truck stops sell ginger and ginger candy. I guess just for this situation.
Yeah.
All right. Well, 877-602-9696 is the number to call to talk to Dr. Cobble if you have a question. 877-602-9696. We'll take some more of those after these messages. Traffic.
Crash eastbound I-80 milepost 132. That's about a mile east of the quarry. It's affecting the left lane there. Looks like some slowage, but it's normal for this time of day. Northbound on Foothill Drive. And let me check our message stream. That's where you can send us traffic, or you can ask questions for Dr. Cobble too via text at 33986.
All right, KXRK Provo will continue taking your questions for the doctor. 877-602-9696 after these messages. Randlife.com/X96.
If you have been worried about finding the right mortgage rate, you're looking for a new home, you want to buy your dream home, you're worried about the mortgage rates, well, no more. Go to Rand Life Home Loans. They've got you covered. Rand Life just slashed their floor rate to 3.25% on their 3-in-1 adjustable rate mortgage for FHA and VA loans. That's right, it's 3.25%. What does that mean for you? Well, it means you can have more purchasing power. You can potentially borrow up to $190,000 more to snag your dream home. You get a bigger house, maybe a better location, get that great gourmet kitchen that you've always wanted. It's all within reach. So don't wait. Turn your dreams into a reality with Rand Life. You go to randlife.com/X96. You'll learn more about their incredible new low rates. That's randlife.com/X96. Rand Life. Let Rand Life help you unlock the door to your perfect home.
Most people don't know this because they're probably scrolling on Instagram, but there's an extra $1,000 bonus only available in the X96 Sacred Content.
It's often said that people of Utah speak a language all their own. It's a language that's often confusing and even incomprehensible to newcomers here in the Beehive State. So, Radio from Hell presents a handy guide to help everyone understand how the natives speak. It's the Utah word of the day, and today's word is...
Snuff. S-N-U-F-F, snuff. Now to use the Utah word of the day, snuff, here are the mayor of Mona, Utah, Don Criddle, and his son, Denver Criddle. The town of Mona is still without a local radio station because of the disappearance of the station's broadcast tower. Yes, someone or Something has stolen KVOM's tower, all 200 feet of the steel structure, and no one seems to have a clue. But Denver may have a lead on the theft. Again, the word is snuff.
Daddy, the KVOM radio tower was stolen.
Yes, son, months ago, I know. And no more radio tower, no more KVOM morning show consisting of Captain Breakfast and Benny the Egg. Which means no more liberal bleeding heart anti-MAGA crap out of that egg fella. And no more anti-Marimona junk, too. No more Captain Breakfast calling me Mayor Fiddle and Biddle and Diddle.
No, Daddy. That was just all high-spirited radio guy talk. They don't mean nothing by it. Most radio folk I have found don't even know what they're saying when they're saying it. Their mouths are moving and words are coming out, but they really don't know what them words are.
Well, that don't surprise me a bit. Diarrhea of the mouth. That's what my mother used to call it. But what do you want about anyway? You hear something about what happened to the radio tower?
I did, Daddy, I did. And what I'm about to tell you maybe will sound far-fetched. Maybe even far-fetched, but just have an open mind, okay, Daddy?
All right, okay. Now, what about the missing radio tower?
It was Dalton Smalley that put this thought in my mind, Daddy.
Smalley? Oh, for hell's sake, Denver. He hasn't been right for 20 years or more, ever since his ma turned him out of the house so she could use his room for that second husband of hers. He's still living at the landfill?
That's how I came to be talking with him, because I was down at the landfill looking to see if someone had tried to just scrap some of the tower, looking for pieces of it. And we was talking about who could have took a whole radio tower. And that's when old Dalton showed me this picture. Here, Daddy, take a look at it.
Denver, you have handed me a picture torn out of a magazine of Godzilla. That is a picture of Godzilla from some movie magazine.
But look close, Daddy. Look what Godzilla has in his hand. It's part of a radio tower, and he's using it to smash stuff with. I think Godzilla stole our tower.
Okay, boy, that's enough.
But, Daddy, look. The monster has a radio tower in his...
I said that's enough. It's a picture from a magazine. It ain't a crime scene photo, so that's enough.
Okay. Mr. Smalley also sent along these sweet rolls for you, Daddy. He says the baker's trucks drop them off at the landfill every week and that they're really actually pretty good.
Join us again some other time as we examine how the Utah natives speak with the Utah Word of the Day.
Alex in Syracuse had a question for Dr. Cobble. Alex, we'd prefer you to call in with your question from Syracuse, 877-602-9696.
I saw your text question, Alex. It was stupid, so don't do it. So let's go back to the phones. Dr. Michael Cobble is with us. He can answer your medical questions. Just call 877-602-9696, unless you're Alex in Syracuse. Don't do it. Let's see, we've got line one. Katie?
There we go.
There it is. Hi, Jennifer, are you there?
I am. How are you guys?
Fine, how are you? You got a little problem, apparently.
It's all right. So my question's kind of an embarrassing one. I've been having some trouble with some like fluid coming from my breast. It's almost like I'm lactating, but I'm 46 years old, so I'm not pregnant.
So you're having, I guess, discharge from your breast. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that can be from a change in your hormones. It's perimenopausal. It can come from being on hormones. So could be from prolactin. There are medicines that can do that too. So I think if you're not on any medicines, then it's probably reasonable to go see a doctor and maybe have prolactin level tested, hormones tested, thyroid tested. Is there any other history or anything you can share with us besides that?
No, not really. They're kind of tender and swollen.
Yeah. So it could be hormone changes from menopause, but I think it's reasonable to go see a primary care doctor or a gynecologist to get some blood work drawn.
Yeah, make sure, Jennifer. Just make sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go get it checked.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep. See you later.
Okay, we got a text question. I just moved to Utah from a high humidity state. I keep getting bronchitis. How do I prevent that?
That's a toughie. I mean, you can get a humidifier in your home. If you're not having allergies, then an allergy pill probably won't help. Nasal saline, using a nasal saline spray at night, or one of those things to try to moisturize.
Or a
your
neti pot.
upper respiratory. Yeah, any of those things could be helpful, but it's tough when you move from a high humidity area to this dry desert environment. you
Yeah,
know.
really have a humidifier if you can add one to your HVAC system. And so it's constantly monitoring the humidity in your house. And if you don't have access to that, just getting a freestanding one, keep it running. That would help.
All right.
All
Let's
right.
go to the phones.
Jared is there.
Jared. Hi, Jared. What's your question for Dr. Cobble?
Hi, good morning. So I have a family history of colon cancer on my dad's side. My mom has Crohn's, a couple other family members that have GI issues. I'm curious, I also have some symptoms as well. I think a lot of times exacerbated by certain types of food. But I'm wondering what age you recommend getting a colonoscopy if there's a family history and some mild symptoms. I know they say 45, but what would you recommend?
Oh, no, I think with the family history, I would definitely start around 30-ish. Certainly some people would consider a younger age, but I think I would be thinking about getting a colonoscopy at 30, 35, probably at the latest. And especially if you're having symptoms, they can look for colitis or inflammatory bowel disease. You can also get a cell science blood test called ALCAT, ALCAT, and that can look for food allergies to see if there's something that you're eating that you're allergic to.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, great question.
Thank you.
Yep. See you
Yep.
later.
All right, let's go to Freeman.
Freeman, hello. Where are you calling from?
Good morning, calling from Ogden.
Okay, what's your question?
So I've had a problem with my left leg for a lot of years. It started back in like 2013. I don't know what initially started it, but the calf muscle would be tight like all the time and just bother me. And then years later, I did physical therapy. I had MRIs. It helped out a little bit. As soon as the physical therapy stopped, it went right back. And then years later, about 5 years ago, I hit it really bad with a sledgehammer.
Oh.
And it's been worse since then. Now it swells every day. It's a lot more painful and discomforting. And I've done the physical therapy stuff again and had MRIs. Like, I think the longest stint of physical therapy I did was about 11 months. And it felt better while doing the physical therapy. As soon as the physical therapy stops, I go right back to where I was in the past.
Yeah. Any
Yeah,
thoughts on
it almost sounds like you have a traumatic compartment syndrome, and the hard part is how much of it's mechanical injury and how much could be arterial vascular. And I don't know if you've seen a vascular doctor to have testing of the veins and the arteries, and but I think it sounds like the physical therapy is great if you keep it up, but the determination is this neurogenic claudication from a neuromuscular problem hitting your leg with a sledgehammer, or is it arterial claudication, vascular blood flow? And I think you've got to determine between those two with your doctor. And then if it's just mechanical, then I think you may have to do that physical therapy for a long, long time.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
All right, Freeman.
I think talking to a vascular doctor would probably be a good
Try
place
that.
to start again.
And stay away from
for
sledgehammers.
sure.
Those are our recommendations.
All right. Thanks for
thank
calling.
you.
Let's go to another call here.
This is Carla.
Hi, Carla. Where are you calling us from?
Good morning. I'm calling from Bountiful.
Okay. What's your question?
I recently had a colonoscopy, and I have a lipoma in my colon. I had one in 2018, and it was surrounded by diverticulitis. And so they went in and took 18 inches of my colon out, and everything's been fine since. It was not fun, but it made such a huge difference in everything.
Gee, it sounds fun.
It was awful. But if needed again, needed again.
Yeah.
So this one has no diverticulitis around it. They said let it sit. It looks much happier, more pink. The other one looked really angry and red and ready to pop.
Yeah.
So they said please, or they didn't say please leave it. They said just leave this. Come back. They said 6 years. We'll do another colonoscopy. I think I'll probably cut that to 4 because I'd like to stay ahead of it.
So what you just want Dr. Cobble to sort of weigh in on all of that?
What do you think? Yes, please.
Well, I think lipomas are pretty common in different connective tissue areas. You've had them recognized in the colon. Diverticular changes or diverticulosis or diverticulitis is a separate issue. Sounds like it was around the other lipoma and everything was angry and upset. So they did that 18-inch colon removal. I think a lipoma is typically innocuous. It's not dangerous. I think rescoping in 4 to 8 years, 5 years, 6 years is reasonable. And I don't think that there's anything you could do for it, nutrition-wise. And again, lipomas are remarkably common. But the diverticular changes were the bad thing, and it sounds like you just had that lipoma in that area before. But I wouldn't be worried about the lipoma itself as a signal that there's something dangerous going on.
Keep calm, Carla. It's okay.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I have huge faith in my doctors and surgeon. However, you've said exactly what they said. So thank you very much.
Cool.
I appreciate it.
There you go.
See you later.
Thank you.
I think we only have time for one more call. Deidre, can you make it quick, Deidre?
You bet. I have an adult daughter that suffered from cyclic vomiting syndrome, as the earlier caller, and started trying to use marijuana to control it, which led to a separate syndrome called cannabinoid hyperemesis. And so I'm sort of wondering if Dr. Cobble could do a PSA on how using lots of marijuana doesn't help with that. Anyway, and it can cause its own problems.
Yeah, unfortunately, that is a side effect for some people with THC use. So some people use it for chronic vomiting, but again, it can result in that problem. So it's one of those cases where the treatment makes the problem worse. And sounds like she already made that comment. So great, thank
All
you.
right. Thanks, Deidre.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Dr. Cobble. Nice to hear from you.
Yeah, thank you. Lots of questions today.
Yeah, a couple of weeks, and we'll do it again. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds great.
See ya.
All right.
Thank you, sir. All right. And Lisa, if she wants to hang on to play Beat Gina, she can.
Oh, yeah, we're doing Beat Gina for They Might Be Giants tickets.
Yeah. Traffic, please.
Crash northbound I-15, 52nd South, milepost 300. Left shoulder affected there. That earlier issue I-80 up by the quarry, it has been cleared. There is some residual slowage through that area, but they have moved the accident off to the side, so hopefully that'll get things cleared up shortly. And are you in a mess? Any kind of mess, you can text us and let us know. 33986. This Saturday, Area 51 presents a special Halloween-themed fetish ball. Since 2001, Area 51's been putting on fetish and Halloween, and this year will be no exception.
All right, Beat Gina coming up after these messages and a song. 877-602-9696. All you got to do is call and play, and you'll win. It's Reservoir Dogs trivia today.
And you'll win tickets to They Might Be Giants June 10th at the Depot. This is win it before you can buy it. They don't even go on sale until Friday at 10
There you go. 877-602-9696. We'll play after some messages and a song. Stockton 12 Honda.
Yes, Stockton 12 Honda, your neighborhood Honda dealer. They've been out there at the Southtown Auto Mall doing great job of selling cars to people for over 25 years. And Hondas are just excellent cars, by the way. I've bought a couple from Stockton 12. I'll probably buy other cars from them as well. Well, why don't you get your car winter weather ready at Stockton 12 Honda? Schedule your service today. Same-day service is available. You can call them today, or you can go to Stockton12Honda.com and see all the service specials for the month, and then schedule the service that you need. Honda Express service is very quick and easy and affordable for oil changes and tire rotations, brake inspection, and more. Call to schedule your service today. Visit Stockton12Honda.com or go see them. They're in the Southtown Auto Mall in Sandy. Stockton 12 Honda.
X96 plays all of the alternative music from...
And canned fruit lover Johnny Ola with a new dessert idea from Betty Crocker. Now, Fruit Helper can turn a can of fruit into a terrific dessert. Just start with a 16 or 30-ounce can of fruit. Almost any fruit will do. Then blend the syrup from the can with Fruit Helper dessert mix and some milk. Add the fruit, and you've created a creamy, fruity pudding ready to eat in just 90 seconds. How do you top that? Simple. Sprinkle the crunchy, nutty topping over the pudding, and you have a terrific, creamy, crunchy dessert.
Sure.
New Fruit Helper dessert mixes from Betty Crocker. Lemon, coconut, vanilla, and strawberry flavors. Look for Fruit Helper in the canned fruit section at your grocer. And now, a Fruit Helper for many years.
All the fruits you've helped, Carrie.
Your host, Carrie Jackson.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Johnny Ola.
And I'm proud to be associated with a noted fruit helper.
Yes.
Noted fruit helper.
The randomizer has picked a contestant. Gina, you'll be playing against, let's see, it's Devin.
Hey, Devin.
Devin, are you there?
Devin.
Hello. Hi, Devin. We're going to toss a coin to see who goes first. It will give you an advantage. Call it heads or tails.
Head, please.
All right. Let's see what it says. It is tails, which means Gina goes first. I'm sorry.
You're one step further away from winning these tickets to see Cage the Elephant at Utah First Credit Union Amphitheater on June 20th, featuring special guests Young the Giant and Bakar.
Now, if she beats you, Devin, what are you prepared to do in Gina's name?
I will make a $50 donation to the Road Home.
Boom. There we go. Thank you. All right. Because on this day in 2002, the live-action Scooby-Doo movie was released. So we have trivia questions about that. First question for Gina. Gina, the idea of a live-action Scooby-Doo movie languished in development hell through most of the 90s.
Okay.
In 1996, who was set to play Shaggy? Before the movie was actually made. So who was originally cast as Shaggy? Is it 1, Jim Carrey? Is it 2, Denzel Washington? Is it 3, Kevin Spacey? Or 4, Matthew Lillard, who played him in the movie? It was never questioned.
Oh, this is a trick. This is a trick.
You're not going to put it over on her, are you?
Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey is correct.
That's one for Gina.
All right.
Not sure how that was a trick.
I don't know either. Devin, during the movie, what song is being performed while Daphne is by the pool searching for clues? So this is a soundtrack question. Is it 1, Words to Me by Sugar Ray, 2, Pokin' Around by Brack, from Space Ghost Coast to Coast, 3, Dragula by Rob Zombie, or 4, General Surgery's Slytherin Maceration of Ulcerous Facial Tissue?
I believe it was number 1.
Sugar Ray, it's correct.
All right, there you go. It's 1-1. Back to Gina.
Gina, what was the reason that Sarah Michelle Gellar signed on to play Daphne in this movie?
Okay.
Was it 1, her husband had signed on to play Fred? 2, she was told that she'd get a meaty, dramatic death scene.
Yeah.
3, it was promised that there would always be Spam available at craft services through the entire shoot.
She loves Spam.
Or 4, the original script had a scene that included a joke aimed at Fred's sexuality.
Well, Fred was played by her husband, so I'm going with number 1. No?
Aha! Here's a good chance for you to steal, Devin.
Number 2.
She was told she'd get a meaty, dramatic death scene? No, it was the jokes at Fred's sexuality, apparently in the original script was, and that ascot makes you look gay.
Okay.
But they cut that part.
Okay.
I don't blame them. All right, it's Devin's turn.
All right, Devin.
It's 1-1.
Devin, originally, why did Freddie Prinze Jr., who played Fred, why did Freddie Prinze Jr. not want to do the movie originally? It's because, 1, he didn't feel it would live up to the Scooby cartoons. 2, he insisted that the movie be called Fred Herman and also Scooby-Doo. Was it 3, because he didn't want to be in a movie with his wife? Or 4, he was holding out hope for that Chico Jr. and the Man Jr. reboot series.
Oh.
Thank you.
Write these for Gina.
I'm going to go with number 1 again.
That's correct. He
Yes.
didn't feel it would live up to the cartoons.
All right, it's 2-1. Gina's turn. You could tie it.
Gina?
Okay.
The film was originally set to have a much darker tone, essentially poking fun at the older cartoons, and was set for a PG-13 rating. What were some of the things that changed from the original script?
Okay.
Was it 1, Fred and Shaggy had a relationship and Scooby didn't speak? Was it 2, Fred was sent up the Nung River to Cambodia where he was to terminate Colonel Scrappy Doo's command with extreme prejudice?
Yes.
Was it 3, it turned out that all the Mystery Incorporated adventures were all just dreams in Shaggy's head while he was in a coma? Or 4, Shaggy was set to be a stoner, Velma and Daphne had a side relationship?
I'm going with 4.
4 is correct.
The game is tied.
Oh, boy.
But, Devin, if you get this one right, you win.
All right. After filming was completed, Freddie Prinze Jr. had to shave his head. Why? Was it 1, he needed to get rid of all evidence of ever playing Fred? Was it 2, he got offered a meaty role in the Mr. Clean biopic? Was it 3, the Hare Krishnas were very specific? Or 4, the bleach ruined his hair?
I'll go number 4.
That is
That
correct.
is it. You
Oh,
win
you're
the game.
big winner.
There you go, Devin. Congratulations.
From behind.
You get to go to
Cage the Elephant.
Cage the Elephant. Yes, very nice.
Hang on the line. We'll tell you how to get those tickets.
Listen, I've got to go. I'm going to go try my hand at helping some fruit.
Eugenia, is this sponsored?
Yes, X96 welcomes They Might Be Giants June 10th at the Depot. Tickets go on sale this Friday at 10 a.m. You can find out more about that show at x96.com.
It's time for Beat Gina. I'm Johnny O for Symington's Vita Gravy.
Ooh.
Your next Lord Woolton pie will be a pie with a difference if you use Symington's Vita Gravy. The mixed vegetables under their crisp wheat meal crust will taste twice as good if you've added Vita Gravy to them. Vita Gravy is flavorsome, appetizing, and nourishing, and it will make your Woolton pie an extra popular dish. Try it today. Symington's Vita Gravy prices are still pre-war. Made by W. Symington of Limited Companies, makers of famous Symington soups. And now, here's a man who loves a slice of Woolton pie, your host, Kerry Jackson.
Thank you, Johnny Ola.
You're welcome.
All right. The randomizer has picked a contestant. Looks like Richard is our contestant.
Hi, Richard.
Richard, are you there?
Hello? Yes,
All right, Richard, you ready to play?
I am.
All right, we're going to toss a coin to see who goes first. It will give you an advantage in the game. You call it heads or tails.
Let's go with heads.
All right. It is heads, as a matter of fact.
You're one
There
step
you go.
closer, Richard, to winning these tickets to They Might Be Giants. Yeah, they're coming to the Depot June 10th.
All right, Richard, because you won the coin toss, you will go first. The first question is for you to answer on your own. It's multiple choice pop culture trivia. If you get it right, you get the point. If not, I'll allow Gina to answer the question correctly and steal your point away from you. And we'll go back and forth till one of you gets 3 points. The movie Reservoir Dogs was released on this day in 1992. And so it's Reservoir Dogs trivia. Richard, here's the first question. What song plays during the police torture scene? There's a song. You know, they always have the radio on in this movie. What is the song that is playing during the police torture scene? Is it 1, Vanilla Pancake Requiem? Is it 2, Hooked on a Feeling? Is it 3, The Robot with Human Hair, Part 5? Or 4, Stuck in the Middle with You?
It is stuck in the middle.
Indeed. Correct. 1 point for Richard. Now we go to Gina.
Gina?
Yes.
Let's see. Quentin Tarantino, during tryouts for the film, said, "I like what you do. I just don't know if I want you to do it in my movie."
Okay.
To which actor who was auditioning for the role of Mr. Orange?
Okay.
Is it 1, David Duchovny? Is it 2, Jonathan Toothass? Is it 3, Tom Cruise? Or was it 4, Slick Deuceman?
I don't know. I'm going to say David Duchovny.
All right. That's a point for Gina.
There you go.
1-1. Back to Richard.
All right, Richard. Speaking of that radio again, since you got that one right, they always play the same station, and it's K. Billy's Sounds of the 70s. Who is the voice for the DJ of K. Billy's Sound of the 70s?
Why does Richard get a DJ question?
What? What's wrong with you?
It's not fair.
Well, these are hard answers, all right? Is it 1, Stephen Wright? Is it 2, Casey Kasem? Is it 3, By Curious George? Or is it 4, Jingle Bell, Jingle Bell, Jingle Bell Smith?
That would be number 1.
Stephen Wright.
Stephen Wright.
Correct.
2-1. Now Gina.
Gina.
Yes.
Give Gina a DJ question.
Is there another DJ question? Johnny, are you eating that pie right now?
Woolton pie.
All right, Gina.
Uh-huh.
What job title does one of Joe's crew hold to appease his overbearing parole officer?
Okay.
So he only keeps this job just to make his parole officer happy. Is it 1, waste management assistant?
Okay.
Is it 2, barbed wire sharpener? Is it 3, dock worker? Or 4, quality control at the sewage treatment plant?
I don't know. I'm just going to go with dock worker.
Correct.
It's 2-2. Back to Richard. Richard, if you get this one, you win.
Richard, Let's see. Reservoir Dogs has not been released in what country? Because it's illegal to show torture and killing of police. Which country? Is it 1, Latveria? Is it 2, the Philippines? Is it 3, Uzbekistan? Or is it 4, South Korea?
Number 2.
Philippines?
Oh, I would have said that too.
Terribly sorry.
Then it must be South Korea.
Correct.
All right, Gina, you win the game.
Wins the game.
And you didn't even have a DJ question.
I didn't.
Sorry, Richard.
Oh, Richard?
Oh, man.
Oh,
Richard.
He sounds sad. I can't have that.
Poor Richard.
Even though I beat you, Richard, in order to get rid of the sad, I'm going to give you these They Might Be Giants tickets anyway.
Oh, well, that's
great.
Hang on the line, Richard. Listen, I've got to go finish my Walton pie.
Ooh, delicious.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
At pre-war prices, you can't be beat.
Absolutely. All right. Big Boy News now, brought to you by...
Prepare for a spine-tingling, family-friendly adventure, Laser Halloween at Clark Planetarium. Immerse yourself in a dazzling world of light, laughter, and fright. All ages spooktacular show runs every evening at 7 p.m. through October. Get tickets at clarkplanetarium.org.
Bill Maher is being sued
Good.
by one of Donald Trump's most ardent supporters. He's being sued for $150 million by Laura Loomer for saying on national TV that she slept with Donald Trump. According to new legal documents obtained by TMZ, Loomer named Bill Maher and HBO as defendants in her suit filed in Sumter County, Florida, claiming that the Real Time with Bill Maher host besmirched her good name, as if she had one, on his HBO show. Loomer, conservative, no, she's not an investigative journalist.
No, she's a loon.
She's a close Trump ally, that's true. Says that Maher made false, malicious, and defamatory statements about her during his real-time show on September 13th. In the episode, Maher told his viewers, I think maybe Laura Loomer is in an arranged relationship to affect the election because she's very close to Trump. She's 31, looks like his type.
He said, I think maybe. He didn't say this is a fact.
We did an editorial here a few years ago. It was basically, who's Trump effing? Because I said, it's not nobody. He's been a dog for too long, and it's not Melania. I think we may have our answer this week. I think it might be Laura Loomer. Of course, that didn't set well with Laura Loomer, who claims in her suit she never slept with Donald Trump.
As much as she tried.
Highlighting that he's a married man.
Oh,
in fact,
did she really?
Yeah.
Is that part of her argument?
Yeah.
Well, he's a married
I'd like to introduce you to Stormy Daniels.
or any number of other people.
Loomer says that Bill Maher does not have a shred of evidence to prove his allegation and has no basis for making this false claim. She says Maher simply fabricated the story to get attention and notoriety while also trying to profit off his lies, according to his employer, HBO, which she says acted in concert with Bill Maher.
No, you know who's trying to get attention here? It's Laura.
Yeah.
A week after Maher made his comments, Trump weighed in on his Truth Social platform, calling Bill Maher a befuddled mess and his show boring, among other horrible things. Loomer is asking for more than $150 million in damages.
Good luck with
We'll
that.
see what happens with that.
Discovery.
A federal judge on Tuesday ordered Rudy Giuliani to turn over most of his possessions and available cash to a receivership controlled by the 2 Georgia election workers that he defamed after the last presidential election. Mr. Giuliani, who is 80, has 7 days to make the transfer, which includes his New York apartment, his vintage Mercedes-Benz, once owned by Lauren Bacall. The judge also ordered him to turn over certain pieces of furniture, his television, one of and sports memorabilia, jewelry, and 26 watches, including one that Mr. Giuliani said his grandfather gave him.
Still doesn't come close to what he owes them. And by the way, if you think this is overkill, he ruined their lives.
The watch,
they had to move. They were worried for their physical safety.
The watch may be distinctive to defendant as an item of sentimental value, but it's not distinctive to the law, said the judge. By the way, Mr. Giuliani's son, Andrew.
I hate that kid.
He can keep his father's Yankee World Series rings. Lawyers looked into whether they were indeed a gift from father to son. Andrew said, he gave those rings to me. You don't have to turn out. They're mine. Once the transfers are made, the two election workers, Ruby Freeman and her daughter Shay Moss, can begin selling the assets and putting the proceeds toward the more than $148 million that a federal jury determines he owes them. Judge Lyman also said Ms. Freeman and Ms. Moss could sue former President Donald Trump for the $2 million he owes Mr. Giuliani in unpaid legal bills.
Do it.
Freeman and Moss have been waiting nearly a year to get paid for the damage to their reputations caused by Giuliani, who was, of course, personal lawyer to Donald Trump at one point.
Or let me make another offer. How about this, Rudy? You get to live in the house, but so do these two women, and we make it a reality show.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. And they're in charge of you, all right?
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention is investigating an E. coli outbreak in the Mountain West and Midwest that seems to link back to McDonald's Quarter Pounders, although officials don't know which specific ingredient might have been involved. Some speculation that it's onions. The CDC said that McDonald's has pulled ingredients and the burgers won't be available in some states, including Utah. The public health agency told people who had Quarter Pounders and experienced some symptoms to see their health care provider. So far, at least 49 illnesses have been documented. One person has died. The CDC said many others might be affected, but not all the cases are reported. As most people who get E. coli, they experience, diarrhea and vomiting, but most people recover from it. It's rare that it kills people,
but it can.
But it can make you pretty sick. So there's that. Kamala Harris fundraising here in Utah.
Where?
She has more than doubled Republican Donald Trump's fundraising since entering the race for the White House on July 21st, posting a $1.25 million advantage in that span, according to the most recent campaign finance reports. Harris has raised $2.36 million in Utah since she joined the race after Biden dropped out.
Texting me.
Trump has raised $1.8 million, so she's raising more money than he is here in the state of Utah. I don't know what that says, if anything, about how voting will go, but she is raising more money than he is. Well, a TV movie about Ruby Franke, the Utah parenting influencer convicted of aggravated child abuse, is set to premiere this month, and Franke's estranged eldest daughter has called the film trash. Mormon Mom Gone Wrong, the Ruby Franke story, scheduled to debut on Lifetime this Saturday, 6 or 9 p.m. Mountain Time, depending on which cable and satellite system you have, and can be found on Hulu and other streaming services on Sunday. Sherry Franke, the oldest of Ruby Franke's 6 kids, posted on her Instagram that none of us were contacted about the movie. None of the proceeds are going to us. She said, I saw the trailer suddenly in class and had an anxiety attack.
I'm sure.
The movie is trash and only hurts my siblings more. Please do not support this movie. The publishing house.
I was just going to say, if they're making money on it, the kids should get some money from this.
But they don't have to do it. So maybe you could arrange something.
Yeah, they're making money off of the abuse of children.
Yes, they
I
are.
don't blame their sister for being upset about it.
I don't either, but that's about as far as it's going to go. The publishing house Simon & Schuster announced on October 15 that it will release Sherry Franke's memoir, The House of My Mother, under its Gallery Books imprint on January 7th. According to the publisher, the book, with the subtitle A Daughter's Quest for Freedom, will describe the hidden abuse that she suffered at the hands of her mother and how, in the face of unimaginable pain, she found freedom and healing. Sherry Franke is now a student at BYU and testified Wednesday before a Utah legislative committee, calling herself a victim of family vlogging,
and
video blogging.
Heather Locklear is playing Jodie Hildebrand, and that's the
Really?
most generous casting I've ever heard.
Boy,
in
I'll
my
say.
life.
She looks really pretty in that picture, doesn't she?
Jody Hildebrand is not Heather Locklear.
Well, I think Heather Locklear is probably a better actor than Jody Hildebrand.
Probably.
Harvey Weinstein.
Oh, I took him. Does anybody have him? Because I
Convicted
gave him
rapist.
up this year.
I got him.
Yeah, convicted rapist, and he's been diagnosed now with a rare form of bone marrow cancer. Sources confirmed to NBC News, ABC, and CNN that Weinstein is currently undergoing treatment for chronic myeloid leukemia while serving time at Rikers Island in New York. Scripps News hasn't yet received a response from a representative for the 72-year-old, but one told the other outlets that they had no further comment out of respect for Mr. Weinstein's privacy.
I don't believe that karma's a bitch. I wish it were, because there are a lot of good people that get cancer too. But I would like to say karma's a bitch. So.
Yeah.
A woman in Australia had to be rescued after she literally got stuck between a rock and a hard place for 7 hours, upside down. According to a Facebook post from New South Wales ambulance service, a first response team in the Australian state, the woman was walking with friends in the Hunter Valley area when she dropped her phone. She attempted to retrieve her phone, but slipped face first into a tight crevice between two boulders. She was unable to get out. Ambulances showed that only her feet were visible.
Oh, jeez.
Ambulance crews showed that only her feet were visible once she got trapped. Officials said her friends tried to free her for about an hour before calling for emergency services. Rescuers spent the next several hours moving the massive, heavy boulders just enough to be able to reach her feet. The team also had to navigate an S-bend in the boulder crevice to extract her. Officials said she had only minor scratches and bruising once she was finally freed. All right, that's
All right, sports weather traffic.
Well, the Delta Center is awfully busy this week. Last night, Utah Hockey Club lost to Ottawa Senators 4-0. Tonight, the Jazz, it's the real deal. It counts now. Regular season play starts tonight. The Jazz and the Memphis Grizzlies. Bill, the puck drops at 7 for...
Do they have to have special shoes to play basketball on the ice?
On the ice, yes. Then Thursday, Utah Hockey Club will play Avalanche, and Friday the Jazz and the Warriors. So they're just trading back and forth all week long. Let's see, weather. We could break a record today, 77 for a high. There's a cold front coming in, about a 20% chance of rain associated with that overnight tonight, but it will cool things off considerably tomorrow. Only a high of 57 tomorrow. Then we warm back up into the 70s for the weekend. Traffic, we've got a major issue. Northbound I-15 milepost 293. That's about 106 south. Several lanes of traffic are closed. Expect major delays in that area. We still have some issue with I-80 eastbound, that crash near the quarry. They have moved that off to the side, but there's some residual slowage through that area. And whatever you're seeing on the roads, please share it with us, and I'll pass it along. 33986 is where you do that. The Stateroom presents Making Live Music Memories. Halloween is in the air. Celebrate and experience The Poor perform their funky Halloween show this Saturday, October 26th at the Stateroom. Get tickets at thestateroompresents.com.
All right, so your list of things that must go coming up after these messages. Stand by for that. Let's see, UtahAdvocates.com.
Available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Yeah, we had Mark Stewart in here yesterday and asked him if he's getting those 2 a.m. calls. He said, yeah. He said, each attorney takes like a week, and they're like, you're on call this week, because they say you should call them as soon as you can after an accident happens, get them involved right away, and accidents often happen in the middle of the night.
From car accidents and pedestrian injuries, dog bites, slip and fall accidents, all that kind of thing. The advocates are there to help. They've helped Katie a couple of times when she's been involved in accidents, as a matter of fact. They are the best. 801-355-5550. That's the number to call. You can call, as Gina said, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and you will not pay a dime out of your pocket for the call or for any of the help they give you. They only take payment when they get you a settlement. So 801-355-5550, or you can talk to them online, UtahAdvocates.com.
Right now at Les Schwab,
And I assume everything went well, Gina?
Yeah, I had this. My doctor told. Well, we back up. I've been
All right,
having high
wait.
blood pressure. Like, which is weird for me. I don't usually have that.
You
And
usually don't have any blood pressure at all.
It's true. I'm usually very slow pulse and low blood pressure. So we're in the investigation portion of trying to find out what's causing that. And yesterday she sent me a message saying, I need you to come in for an 8 a.m. blood test. And yes, it has to be at 8 a.m. And I'm like, she's like, I know you work, but it has to be at 8
It
a.m.
was for the doctor's convenience, I'm sure.
So I'm confused. So I go to her office this morning and I asked the nurse, why this 8 a.m. blood test? And she said it's an 8 a.m. cortisol test. And yes, it has to be done first thing in the morning because that's the time of day when the numbers are most likely to be high.
But that's
and-
a time of day for normal people.
Exactly.
We're up at 3.
Exactly. But the lab is not. So
Oh,
the
so-
lab opens at 8.
So the results of your test that are are very important to your health.
Yeah.
Dubious at best.
Are
so
strictly at the whims of when the lab opens.
And I've had so much blood taken the last 2 weeks. And the nice lady that takes the blood, it's always from the same spot.
Why?
And
Why don't you don't have to do that?
well, that's just the way her room's set up. It's the
No,
chair.
no,
and the...
no, God. Gina! Oh, that's just the way her room
Well,
is set up.
that's where the table is.
Nonsense.
But she uses this
Oh.
this tape like afterwards
Yeah.
to put like a cotton ball there.
Uh-huh.
And so I have ripped this tape off the same part of my arm like 3 times in the last week.
Gina, no.
And I think I'm
say,
going to
you say I need it to be in another spot. You don't have
Can
to
you
do
not
that.
use the icky tape?
Good God. Most phlebotomists play, they have those chairs that the thing flips and they can do it from either side.
Yeah,
And
it just-
so if she's just got a table set up, you can turn your chair around.
It's the way it
And
was.
it shouldn't be the way that the chair is sit. You should extend both arms and say, which one do you like?
Yeah, huh?
And they can look and say, oh, that looks like a good one right there.
But it's the it's the tape. I hate the tape.
The tape is.
It's your own fault.
So that's sorry, and I appreciate Jimmy hopping in and.
Well, he was
helping out
good.
this
I
morning.
think
I was
we ought to
surprised.
we ought to ask him to do it every week.
Maybe it was part of his whole planning and scheme to psych out the other person because he made it sound like, oh, I don't know pop culture.
And then he was
And
right
then
on
He
it.
just nailed it.
Oh.
All of them. He even got an actual trivia question.
Really?
Yes. It's like out of these 4 women,
Mhm.
only one of them was not dated by Justin Timberlake.
Oh,
And there wasn't a joke answer. There were 4.
it could have been any
and
of
he
them.
didn't hesitate.
And he answered it correctly.
Hey,
Did you
let me-
hear it?
No, let me hear what it.
Let me see how you do.
Okay.
All right. Which of the following women has Justin Timberlake not dated?
Okay.
Now, wait, which part of your brain would you like to answer this with?
The right or the left?
Right.
Britney Spears, Jessica Biel, Cameron Diaz, or Christina Aguilera?
Cameron Diaz.
No.
He dated Cameron Diaz.
He did.
Oh, he didn't date Christina Aguilera.
Very good.
Okay.
But Jimmy,
Bam, hit it.
right away.
Ah.
I was
He went, that'd be Christina Aguilera.
blown away. Blown
Huh.
away.
You know why? Because Jimmy's dated all of them.
I
That's
guess
right.
so.
He's talked to them all.
Things that must go on the radio. From Hell Show.
These are things that are really, really, really bugging you. Things that you can't stand anymore. You say to yourself, I know. I'm gonna tell Radio from Hell all about this, and maybe it'll make me feel better, and maybe these things will disappear from my life. Sometimes that does happen. So all you have to do is send your must-goes, put must-go in the subject line, and then email it to radiofromhell@x96.com. Gina.
I know this has happened to everybody at least once. You're in a hotel room, and you plug in your phone to charge it overnight.
Yep.
And you wake up in the morning and you realize that outlet does not have any power going to it.
It's probably like a switch on the wall or something.
Something that you have you have to start your day with a dead phone battery.
You know what I do?
What?
I check.
I mean,
to make sure that it's charging.
But the second night I did for sure. I went around the room and looked for one that worked. But the first night, nope. And then you spend the rest of the day, because you're out all day and you're at a restaurant, you bring your charger with you and you're like, well, I'll charge it at the restaurant and I'll charge it here. You never get a full charge. Let's see. I got two about elevators, one from our friend Dr. Mike and one from Parker. What must go is the lack of elevator etiquette. Let people out of the elevator before you try to get on.
Yeah.
This works for buses, taxis. And then Parker says, people who enter the elevator you're already in and proceed to mash the closed door button. It's not going to close any faster. That button doesn't do anything. Let's see. Then we have this from Angie. What's the point of voting if the Electoral College has the ultimate power to decide? The Electoral College must go. I agree with that.
Yep.
Also,
yes.
Let's see. This is from John. The entire fraud prevention team at Chase Bank. They've shut down my credit card in error no less than 5 times in the last month.
Wow.
And then finally this from Mike. Things that must go. Candle wax. I mean candy corn for Halloween candy must go.
Katie's shaking her head. You like candy corn, don't you?
I do like candy corn.
I like it okay, too.
Yeah.
I like it all right. I'll go next. Let's see. I've got this one says, just one today, going to shake someone's hand, and they say, I'm a hugger, and then they try to hug me. Please stop.
Yeah.
If you don't know me, especially,
Yeah.
I'm not hugging you.
Yeah.
I think this one's from my wife. My wife doesn't even like me to hug her. She does not care for hugging at all. Let's see. This one says, my thing that must go is my date admitting that she would rather order chicken nuggets at a sushi restaurant.
What?
Do they have?
Let her order what she wants.
Do they have chicken nuggets here?
Well, my question is why did you take her to a sushi restaurant?
Well, if it's a first date, maybe you don't know.
You don't know that she's such a picky eater?
Or you don't, or when they go to the restaurant, she doesn't say, "This is sushi. I don't really care for a sushi. Can we go somewhere else?"
Yeah.
Well, you don't have to go somewhere else if they have chicken nuggets on the menu. This is fine. This is not a problem.
Do they have chicken nuggets on sushi restaurants?
Not at the sushi place I go.
Me either. Me either. This one is very long. I'm going to have to skim through a bunch of it. Musco's Disneyland edition. As every other Utah family, we headed to Disneyland for fall break. With that, I have some Muscos from this trip, a handful of behaviors that I've seen from Disney adults. These are adults, by the way, with no children at Disney. I myself am not an amusement park fan. I am solely here for my kids. So I may already be annoyed at things that I don't understand from adults going without kids.
Could be.
Sighing when characters are spending longer time with kids. Why are you in this line to begin with? Do you really need to wait 20 minutes to take a picture with Pluto? The pictures are only out for short time frames. You understand, this isn't the real Moana. You know that, don't you? My daughter does not understand that, and you're taking away from some magic moments for the kids.
Exactly. I would rather watch that than and have the character walk away and not get a photo. Yeah. I'd rather watch that.
Getting upset that strollers exist. One group of 30-something said, I wish they wouldn't allow strollers in the park. Getting upset that kids have bubble wands. My kid did not have a bubble wand, but I'm not just being salty about a remark toward my own kid. However, these are sold every 40 feet in the park, And all the kids love shooting the bubbles and
Yeah.
being
Fun.
covered in the bubbles. And a lady in the group of grumpy ladies said, "My clothes are getting bubbles on them."
It's not hurting them.
No.
This one's clogging up the lines for the rides that are made for very small children. Today, the wait was over an hour for the Little Mermaid ride. Now, I myself do not understand waiting in a line for over an hour for any ride, but definitely I don't understand it for a ride like this. If it wasn't for my kids, I would describe this wait as so what they're saying here is that it's adults waiting in line and making the line longer than it has to be.
Well, that's not.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
kind of
the
hard
adult,
to control.
Yeah, the adult wants to ride the ride as well.
Yeah. And then finally, the foul language and scandalous dressing. I'm not a prude, but these things don't normally upset me. But when you're at a place for kids, why do you dress like a slut? And why do you have conversations loudly that are inappropriate for children to hear? Please stop. I could continue, but I will let it go from here.
Yeah, you want to have those kind of conversations. You go to Trader Sam's, the bar up there by the hotel, and you have it there.
Yeah.
You know.
All right, that's it. Carrie?
All right. Let's see. This one from does not say who these people are, so I'll just read them for you. Smith's grocery store changing the location of all the items I usually shop for.
I hate when that
Yeah,
happens.
I know. It's just
It's so time-consuming searching everywhere now. People dragging their flip-flops and not picking up their feet. It's so annoying. Harley riders revving their engines while next to me at a light. Nobody is impressed. Go watch the South Park episode to find out what people think of you. Here, try this. Roll down the window and go, "Ooh, you're so interesting." Let's see. Here's another one. Rude neighbors must go. I moved into a new apartment complex, and while getting coffee one morning, I got flipped off by another driver after I gestured to go ahead since they were in a rush. Little do they know we live in the same community. I'm willing to say nothing to keep the peace. My other must go is the urge to egg this person's car and apartment door. I think you should do it.
Things that must go on the radio. From Hell Show.
Well, northbound I-15 completely shut down at the separation of I-15 and 215 by 90 South. The freeway is backed up to the point of the mountain, and heard from a couple friends of the program that are stuck in that mess. If you could keep an eye on it, Infiniteam, and let me know when things open up a bit, I would appreciate it. Text it to us, 33986. This Saturday, Area 51 presents a special Halloween-themed fetish ball. Since 2001, Area 51's been putting the fetish in Halloween, and this year will be no exception.
All right. KXRK Provo. We will take a break, play a song, and after that song, it'll be time for the Boner Recap game. Easy game to play and win. All you have to do is tell us who won the boner this morning. Easy. If you were listening, it's especially easy. If you weren't listening, I wouldn't guess today. I'd cheat if I were you. Go to x96.com, look for the box that says boner voting 10/23/2024. Click on that, and it'll say winner next to the candidate that won today, and you'll win what prize?
How about 2 sets of tickets? How about that? I've got
Okay.
tickets to see Foster the People February 11th at the Union, and I also have tickets to see The Flies, Got You Where I Want You. Remember them? They're going to be live at Leatherheads Saturday, October 26th, the same night Leatherheads presents their 13th annual costume contest.
Oh, that'll be fun. All right. Foster the People, Flies, tickets. All you have to do is call and play the Boner Recap game. 877-602-9696 is the number to call. We're going to play some messages and a song. Call when you feel you need to. The sooner the better, though, to ensure your chance to play. 877-602-9696 is the number to call. Gold back.
A hedge against inflation is gold. It is, because the price of gold almost never goes down. It usually just goes up and up and up. It's very stable. And the Goldbacks is a local currency, and it's made of 24-karat gold, which gives you a physical, spendable form of wealth protection. It protects your wealth. Goldbacks maintain their value because they're made of real gold, offering natural resistance to inflation. Plus, you can set up an account, a precious metals account, and earn 3.5% annually on top of the price of gold growing. So you can earn money on the gold. It's pretty interesting concept. You can shop right now for your Goldbacks at alpinegold.com/radio. You can use them at almost 800 local Utah businesses while spending real gold. That's alpinegold.com/radio. Goldbacks.
And now, an important message from the
I sometimes wonder what it is is there something about me that attracts unusual people?
Yes.
Yes.
It does seem to be the case, doesn't it? There's kind of a little joke that I think Carrie started years ago that I have a posse of weirdos.
Yes.
There are. I don't know. Now
it's because, as a compliment to you, Bill, you are open to it. You are interested in different people.
Yeah.
You tend to engage people in conversation that maybe I wouldn't or Carrie wouldn't. So that invites you into.
I'm generally kind to people, but so that does explain a lot of why I end up having strange people that know me, that gravitate toward me, that people, a lot of autistic people sometimes. But not always do I engage them. Yesterday, I'm in the parking lot at the grocery store, about to get into my car, and there was this quite an elderly man who had parked next to me, and he had a handkerchief, and he was polishing up his red Mustang.
Oh, nice.
He was a little tiny guy.
In the grocery store parking lot?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
right away.
Had a red Mustang.
That's weird.
And it was. I thought that's kind of odd, but I didn't engage him. I just went up, put my groceries in the back of my car, and he walked up to me and said, "Like the color of your car." It's also about the same color as his car.
Oh.
And I said, well, yeah, it's kind of dirty, though. And I went and started to get in the car. And he said, what? And then he engaged me in this long conversation.
About cleaning cars?
About cars in general. I think he was Italian, had a heavy accent. He was probably 90, 80 or 90. I mean, he was quite old. He was a person, actually, I would have liked to sit down and talk to at some point. But I needed to go.
Yeah.
But no, he's not. And why is this guy driving it was a 19. I asked him finally, what year is that car?
He wanted to talk about his car.
Apparently.
I bet he's polishing it in a parking lot, hoping people ask him.
But I didn't.
About his car.
I didn't engage him at all. And it was odd that he was just walking around the car and he take his handkerchief and just.
He wants people to ask him about it.
Probably. He's probably lonely.
He's proud of it.
Yeah.
That's his pride and joy.
And you didn't just ignore him. You engaged slightly, and that gave him the opening.
Yeah, I guess the slight engagement was, well, he started it. He started it.
Well, they always do.
And I said, yeah, my car is kind of dirty, and I went to get in. And that was enough, though. And then it was a long story about car crashes and insurance, and I'm standing there at the door of my car going, okay, I've really got to go. I've got to go.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. But I can't just say, okay, fine, thanks, bye, boom.
Because the weather's warming up. People that have those cars, like they take them to Liberty Park on Saturdays and Sundays. They have those old car shows where that's the whole point is come look at my beautiful old car that I
Yeah. I think you said it was a 1980, but I don't know. It was not. You could tell it was in good shape. And I think he said, yeah, I've only got 120. It's 120,000 miles, something like that.
Because he was
But
Italian.
what is it? You know, why?
It's Mario.
Hey.
It was a promotion for the Mario movie.
Maybe that's what
Bill doesn't realize.
Yeah, maybe I was just being duped.
That was the Mario Kart. Was the red cart.
Somebody just texted this in. I wanted a cool nickname in high school, and somebody said Magnet, because every time we went to a party, at least 2 people followed me around all night.
Yeah, I don't. That same kind of thing happens to me, and I don't know. And again, I do engage people, but sometimes I don't engage them at all, and it happens anyway. So I don't know. I think I give off a scent of some
Somebody
sort.
says, Bill, you're approachable. That's all it is.
I'm not threatening. I don't look threatening. I think I give off some sort of scent that odd people pick up on.
Yeah.
Oh, there's somebody I could get close to him.
Oh, here somebody says, Bill, you just need to say, well, I'll leave you to it.
Well, that's a good one.
I'll leave you to it. Or
Yeah.
good luck with that.
Yeah.
Sounds great. Thanks for listening.
Yeah. And I, on any other, I had to go play someplace, and any other day I probably would have engaged him a little more because he was.
Yeah, he
I
probably has an interesting story.
I wanted to know. I would have, and I stopped myself. I said I would have normally said, "Where are you from?"
Yeah,
because he had, and I'm pretty sure Italian accent. Where are you from, and why are you here, and how long have you been here, and what do you do, and
because you're curious.
because I am curious. But yesterday I wasn't curious. I just wanted
I'm
to
in
go.
a hurry. You had to get home and make that pasta you told us about.
And he was wearing a surgical mask, which I thought was odd because we were outside in the parking lot. He didn't have to have it. But it
he's
was
90, so.
it was so loose,
Good
though.
idea.
It was so loose that it was like below his nose.
Yeah,
and he
so-
kept pulling it up over his nose.
So as to be ineffective.
Yeah. And I didn't get too close to him either. But anyway, it was just, I wonder why that it just happens. I have all these and people that I've been in contact with for years that still
Yes,
reach out to me and hey Bill, oh hi, how you doing? I'll talk.
Yeah, what you could have done was you missed a spot and then Tori got in the car.
Bill, you'll never be lonely.
Or I could say, look over there. Well, anyway.
I just keep moving. I will engage, but I keep moving. I don't stop.
Yeah, and they won't.
And then
they'll drop off usually.
They'll go, oh, he's on his way somewhere.
Carrie's very busy.
I'll say, looking good.
Yeah,
I'll just quickly throw, just something like that. But I will not stop.
Yeah.
I will keep moving.
But it's like that story. I didn't engage that guy. That I've told the story before. I was at a stoplight, and the guy comes running up to my car and says, "Can you give me a ride up the street?"
And you did.
And I went, okay. He jumped in the front seat of my car. I took him 4
I'm
blocks.
sure this is fine.
He said, "My girlfriend just called me. She's having the baby now." So I just drove him 4 blocks, and he got out.
Yeah, someone's having a baby is always made up. That's never an actual excuse for anything.
I think it was true. I think it was true. She, I got to get her to the hospital. That's what he sure was panicked.
How far did you take him?
4 blocks, I think, or 5 blocks. Not far.
And he
was
got
there a
out?
woman on the sidewalk with
Yeah.
her?
Did
with
she
her big
walk out?
pregnant belly?
Well, he just said, "Let me off here," and I said, do you want me to take you down?" And he said, "No, I'm fine." Jumped out and then ran down a couple of houses down the street.
Have you heard that story of Seth Meyers' wife?
Oh, yeah.
Having a baby in the lobby of their apartment
Twice.
building?
Twice, I think.
Like, I think she had it in a car once, and she
Uh-huh.
actually had it in the lobby of the building
Yeah.
once.
2 very, like, whoops, there it is.
Oh, and I guess there's a baby.
You get that, would you, Seth?
It was, I think the doorman delivered it.
Let's see. My dad is the same way. Without fail, in every neighborhood he's lived, he finds the strange kids, every kind of person. He's always nice, and we can't explain it. They flock to him.
Maybe there's just something about the way some people carry themselves that makes it. Oh, Sid says, I went to the IFA remote and decided not to say hi to Bill because I was like, he probably doesn't want to be bothered. If you're at a remote, he's there to be bothered.
He's being paid to be bothered.
Yes, and I was bothered constantly for 2 hours at that remote.
It should be your next remote. Come down and bother me for 2 hours. Pookie in Sunset knows that was around the world. Red Hot Chili Peppers in Sunset and
No.
everywhere else, not just Sunset.
Fun fact about the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah.
They're very fond of California.
I did not notice that.
There you go.
Well, that's
I
amazing.
saw an interview with Rick Rubin, producer Rick Rubin.
The guy with the beard.
Yeah. He's like a savant of
Yeah.
music production. And they were talking about the song Under the Bridge. And he said when he was producing their album, that was just a poem that Anthony Kiedis wrote, and he just showed it to him like, I just write this poem. And Rick Rubin said, that's a song. And he's like, no, this could not be. And Rick's like, no, that will be a hit song. We should, like, he's just that good that he can just look at something and go, nope, that's it. You gotta make that into a song. It worked.
So it's his fault.
Yep, it's his fault.
It's his fault that song is a hit.
But that poem in particular is a love poem for California, for Los Angeles.
I've heard somewhere recently that the Red Hot Chili Peppers really like California.
Recently, you heard that.
I heard that recently somewhere, yeah.
Well, that was me.
Oh, that's right. I knew I'd heard it just a second ago. That's right.
All right, here we go. Time for the boner recap. Let's. Looks like the randomizer has picked Monty.
Monty, are you there?
I am. What's happening, man?
Hey, Monty, what are you doing?
I am up in the hills looking at deer.
You're not shooting them? You're just looking at them?
No antlers, no shots.
I see. Well, that's. I'm glad you're playing by the rules. Sometimes people don't. I know.
I've seen it.
Yeah, Monty, did you happen to hear the boner candidates today?
I did, but I had to go and cheat to figure out who won.
That's okay. We encourage cheating.
Well, let me read these to you, and then you tell me. I know you'll tell me the right one. So, but let me read them to you. Boner candidate number 1. Oh, that was Glenn Beck. He has his. I think he has his good and evil reversed. He was saying that this election is about good versus evil, and then he proceeded to say, the evil is Kamala Harris. And the good is what Donald Trump will do for the country. Okay, Glenn. Boner candidate number 2 was Elon Musk. He claiming that Eminem, who introduced Barack Obama to the crowd in Detroit and also says he's supporting Kamala Harris. Well, Elon Musk says, well, you know, Eminem's one of those people hanging around at those sex parties that Sean Diddy Combs had, and that's just absolutely not true.
He just made it up.
He just made it up.
As a matter of fact, if we were to search the number of pictures with Elon and Diddy, and Eminem and Diddy, I think you'll find a lot more with Elon.
Probably. And then, oh look, number 3 was Elon Musk again, joking for at least the 3rd time about somebody assassinating Kamala Harris. Nobody's trying to assassinate Kamala Harris. I can't figure that out, he says.
That joke ain't going to land, Elon.
Nope. So those were the 3, Monty. Which one was the winner?
I think it was number 3,
Yep.
joking about the Elon Musk joke.
You are absolutely correct, Monty. Monty, hang on the line. Macy,
Hope you get your deer.
Yeah, Macy will tell you how to get your tickets, and I hope you get your deer.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right, hang on.
Oh, speaking of getting things.
Yeah.
So the principal at Judge
Memorial High School.
Judge Memorial High School. He goes on the bison roundup every year.
Mm-hmm.
They do, and this is they do it to keep the herd down. It's a
Where
sanctioned
do they
hunt
do this?
Out on Antelope Island.
Okay.
But he's looking for a place to butcher the bison once he gets it.
You say he goes every year. Hasn't he figured that out yet?
Well, it's I guess it's I don't know. There's some reason he was looking for a place. So he's going to do it at my sister's house in Huntsville.
He's going to butcher the buffalo
yeah,
there?
And it's on my birthday. And I'm trying to decide
what?
I'm like am I gonna?
Don't.
Because I was gonna see my sister on her birthday.
On whose birthday?
On my birthday.
But you don't want to butcher
But
a
I don't want
buffalo.
to butcher a buffalo on my birthday.
Right, that would make sense.
Yeah.
I wouldn't either.
It's not. So I don't think I'm gonna.
Yeah, I would pass. Pass
Oh,
this year.
it'd be a memorable birthday.
I know, but I don't think I want to.
Look at all the guts.
I don't know.
They slaughtered a beast in my honor
Yeah.
for my birthday.
I mean, there's kind of a little bit of that, but no, I don't think I want to.
I try never to think about. I mean, when I go to the store and I buy a package of meat, it's a package of meat.
Yeah.
You know, it's a product. I never think about where it comes from, because I probably, if I thought too hard about it, I would stop eating it.
And that's why people do, I think.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, to me, that's the reason I would stop it.
Yeah. I grew up on a farm. So
Yeah,
it's-
you know. But I don't. That's not how I want to spend my.
I think you ought to go on the buffalo roundup with him.
I mean, the roundup part would be fun, and if you just sort of,
Shoot 'em.
pretend that nothing happens after that.
It's fun to shoot
We're
them.
just going to gather them and put them in a pen, and then that's all that happens.
And then we shoot 'em.
No.
Do they actually round them up and shoot them while they're enclosed in a pen?
No. No. I don't know what they do.
Well, I'm going to get to the bottom of this.
All right. Well, we will take a break. We'll be back after these with some big boy news and a pinuendo for you. Underdog Fantasy.
Listen, over 5 million happy players across 33 states and have won $2 billion. Underdog makes it fun and easy to cash in on your favorite sports. Here's what you can do. With their Pick'em game, for instance, you could win up to 1,000 times your money just by choosing higher or lower on your favorite players' stats in Major League Baseball or NFL or the NBA, whatever you prefer. Underdog puts the power to cash out in your hands. Now you can either keep riding with your entry, or you can push the Win Now button and cash out immediately whenever you want. And with Underdog's double flex option, you can even take 2 losses and still have your one victory be a winning victory. All right? So Underdog Fantasy, like this weekend, I probably will go with Travis Kelce. He's got to make more catches this coming weekend than he did last time. Underdog Fantasy, that's what we're talking about right here. The season Underdog will be running a special promo on bonus almost every single day, like discounts. You'll get adjusted projections on certain players' stats to give you a better shot at the big W. It's currently Boostober now to October 27th. You can boost your profit on NBA games by 20%. You must be 18 years of age or older, present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
In addition to digital high-definition stereo at 96.3 FM.
All right. Let's see, 9:23. Let's get some big boy news and opinioendo here, brought to you by
Halloween at Conservation Garden Park. Celebrate Halloween at the Conservation Garden Park's free family events from pumpkin decorating, story time, dog costume stroll. Visit conservationgardenpark.org for details.
Former Abercrombie and Fitch CEO Mike Jeffries
He's gross.
and two others were arrested Tuesday as part of a criminal investigation into the alleged sex trafficking of more than a dozen victims, according to the FBI and federal prosecutors. Jeffries, his partner Matt Smith, and a third man, Jim Jacobson, are accused of operating an international sex trafficking and prostitution business that recruited young men for parties in the U.S. and abroad, according to a 16-count indictment. The former retail executive and Smith relied on their vast financial resources, Jeffries' power as the CEO of Abercrombie, and numerous people, including Jacobson and a network of employees, contractors, and security professionals, to run a business that was dedicated to fulfilling their sexual desires and ensuring that their international sex trafficking and prostitution business was kept a secret. Federal prosecutors said the three men allegedly paid dozens of men to travel around the world to engage in sex acts over at least a 7-year period, if not more, starting in the late 2008, so around there. The indictment mentions 15 alleged victims identified as John Does 1 through 15. Jeffries allegedly recruited, hired, and paid a slate of household staff to facilitate and supervise the sex events. Man, Abercrombie and Fitch was a remarkable story, a retail story.
Yeah.
They took that old name, that old
British.
company, and turned it into something different.
It's one of my favorite flannel shirts was at Abercrombie and Fitch.
And they also, of course, then apparently had other things going as well. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, it's he is, and you look at him and you think
You can kind of see it.
I think I can kind of see it. Yeah, you can. Shakira, she's now husbandless. She's gotten rid of her husband. She said it's a good thing. He was just holding me back.
Oh, really?
Holding me back.
They've been divorced a while.
And those hips don't lie.
Is this
She's just kind of coming out and talking about it more now. Yeah, they've been separated and divorced for quite a long time. Denny's has abruptly announced the closure of 150 locations.
Really?
In an effort to counteract poor sales.
Moon's over my hammy?
The chain announced 50 store closures are set to take place this year, and the remaining 100 locations will be shut in 2025. The news comes after 15 of the chain's locations from this summer alone, and 70 in total have closed in the last 2 years. It's the restaurant business is tough right now. People are having a hard time in all restaurant operations.
They're having a hard time because the food's expensive and getting help is hard, and people aren't eating out as much, it seems.
The Beatles EMI TG12345 recording console, which they used to make their beloved album Abbey Road back in 1969, has been restored and will be available to purchase on the online musical instruments and equipment marketplace Reverb.com. The Abbey Road recording console will go on sale beginning October 29 via the official Reverb shop of London's recording studio pros and collectors. The one-of-a-kind recording console was especially made for EMI Studios in 1968 and was eventually used the following year to record Abbey Road. It was the first of only 17 consoles made by EMI, and it played a significant role in the ambitious sound that the Beatles sought for Abbey Road. Abbey Road is one of the best albums that's ever been made, and it sounds so good because of this recording console, said Dave Harries, who participated in several Beatles recording sessions using that console. Geez, I don't know how much that'll go for. It's probably a lot of money.
Shouldn't Paul just buy it?
I don't know if he wants it.
Well, I'd buy it, but it smells like cigarettes, doesn't it?
This is, Carrie, this is just a warning for you.
Yes.
On the heels of their Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction this past Saturday, Foreigner has announced they are extending their farewell tour. The band plans to feature classic members at select shows, including Lou Gramm.
Oh, Carrie, you could get the full Foreigner.
Yeah, I don't think he wants it.
No, I don't.
You don't want the full Foreigner?
No, they're in my cadres of enemies lists.
Let's see.
Well, they'll all be in one place. If they have Lou Gramm there, you could take care of them all at once.
This is the closest they'll be to us, it looks like, is Las Vegas.
Good.
They're going to be doing several shows at the Venetian.
You don't have to breathe the same air as Lou Gramm, Carrie.
The Rolling Stones have announced their next archival live release. Welcome to Shepherd's Bush Documents. Their surprise rarities packed 1999 concert at a 1,000 or an 1,800 seat venue in London. The concert will be available on Blu-ray and CD limited edition package. So if you want to see what their show was like in 1999, it's called Welcome to Shepherd's Bush, and I really like that song.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, there you go. The Rolling Stones sounding good as ever.
Mm-hmm.
The new movie, The Brutalist, directed by Brady Corbett, has just been released. A trailer for it has. The film features a great cast, including Adrian Brody, Felicity Jones, Guy Pearce, Joe Alwyn, Raffi Cassidy, Stacey Martin, Emma Laird, and some other people I've never heard of. It's about post-war Europe and the visionary architect Laszlo Toth, who arrives in America to rebuild his life, his work, and his marriage to his wife, Erzsébet. And so that'll be exciting for you architecture fans out there.
There are architecture geeks.
Yes, there are. A survey of 3,000 Americans shows that Blumhouse has released a study Blumhouse has done this survey, releasing a study viewing habits of horror fans, as well as their favorite films and subgenres. Of the people surveyed, 44% identified as die-hard horror fans.
That's Katie.
Consuming the genre all year round.
It's not just at Halloween.
I mean, they're tattooed on my arm. Let's be completely honest here.
6% wait until Halloween only to watch their scary movies, but most people like them throughout the entire
I mean, there's
year.
a streaming service 24/7, Shudder.
I have it.
Yeah.
They've got season 2 of Beef officially set.
Yes.
It's going to be Carey Mulligan and Charles Melton, and then finally Chicago has been named the most rat-infested city for the 10th straight year. Chicago.
10
Well
years.
done, Chicago.
All right.
Weather.
We could break a record today, 77 for a high. Then there's a cold front coming through, about a 20% chance of showers overnight tonight. So not a big chance of rain, but it is going to cool down quite a bit. It will be 57 is all the high it will be on Thursday. We warm back up for the weekend, though. We'll be back up in the mid-70s, it looks like, by Saturday. The leaves are falling, and so are the prices at Big O Tires. Stop in and save up to $120 on select sets of in-stock tires now during the fall savings sale. Big O Tires, the team you trust.
Oh, yes. Oh, I got to tell you about Huckleberry Grill, don't I?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got the concert calendar coming up after these. But Huckleberry Grill, if you're looking for a place to enjoy real, made-from-scratch comfort food at fast food prices, Huckleberry Grill. 335 West, 1830 South is the place. It's down there by Costco. They're open for lunch and dinner Monday through Saturday, 11 to 9 p.m., so you could stop in for lunch today. Huckleberry Grill offering casual dining with high-end quality at fast food prices. Northwest Comfort Food favorites. What's that? Well, like the signature Huckleberry Pork and the cold-smoked tri-tip steak topped with a port reduction, mashed potatoes whipped with confit garlic and Parmesan, sweet potatoes topped with crushed pecan brittle, and, of course, the crispy Brussels sprouts drizzled with honey chipotle mustard and candied bacon crumbles. Save room for dessert because they got the Huckleberry Chocolate Mousse or the seasonal Supreme Pie, which is topped with candied huckleberries and almond crumble. There's something for the whole family at Huckleberry Grill, including gluten-free menu, kids menu, same portion size as adult plates. So come and experience the best of Northwest comfort food at Huckleberry Grill today. 335 West, 1830 South.
Dear Truckin' Awesome.
Perfect spot for a wonderful date night. Reserve your table at Christopher'sUT.com, located at 110 West Broadway.
It's time for a new episode of the game show Beat Gina. Today, it's Beat Katie.
Yep.
Don't worry, it doesn't take long. I'm your announcer, Johnny. I'll pitch any product for the right price, hola. And today, I'd like to offer a bit of advice to the young ladies in the audience.
Oh?
Or maybe you already know about the tender trap.
Oh.
French girls are born knowing about it. Swedish girls learn it at their mother's knee. And American girls are quick studies. You know about how a boy chases a girl until she catches him? That's the tender trap. Every girl who sets one knows how. But don't forget this. Boys love to eat. And they love Wonder sandwiches. So get Wonder Bread going for you, too. You can't lose. Wonder Bread enriched sandwiches. It helps catch boys.
Huh?
Okay.
I read the copy Wonder gives me.
Okay.
Fair.
And now let me introduce a man who has obviously eaten his share of Wonder Bread because he has a strong body that was obviously built 12 ways.
Yes.
The best game show host since sliced bread, Kerry Jackson.
Oh, Johnny Ola, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right, the randomizer has chosen a contestant. It looks like it's Jamie. Hello, Jamie.
Hey.
All right,
Hi,
Jamie.
Jamie.
We're going to
Hello.
we're going to toss a coin to see who goes first. It will give you an advantage in the game. Please call it heads or tails, Jamie.
Let's go tails.
Coin toss app says tails, which means
Well,
Jamie goes first.
You are closer to getting those Switchfoot tickets when they're going to be here November 4th at the complex.
All right, now
Nice.
if Katie manages to claw her way up from behind and beat you
Yeah.
at this game, what are you prepared to do in her name, Jamie?
I will do a donation to the Road Home.
Nice.
Lovely.
All right. It's potpourri all this week because I have so many leftover questions. So these are leftover from weeks past. It looks like we got a couple of Back to the Future trivia questions left over. So Back to the Future trivia for a couple of them here. Jamie goes first. Jamie, these first two are pretty easy. I'll tell you that right now. Jamie, first question is... what is the name of the dance that George and Lorraine attend in 1955? The blank dance. Is it 1, several species of small furry animals gathered together in a cave and grooving with a picked dance? Is it 2, the Enchantment Under the Sea dance? Is it 3, the Hoosier Hot Shots dance? Or 4, the A Long Time Ago in a Galaxy Far, Far Away dance?
I don't know this one. 3.
The Hoosier Hot Shots dance? No.
Sorry, Jamie.
Terribly sorry, Jamie.
Can you repeat the answers for me, Carrie?
The answers are, what is the name of the dance? Is it the several species of small furry animals gathered together in a cave and grooving with a picked dance? The Enchantment Under the Sea dance? The Hoosiers Hot Shots dance? Or the A Long Time Ago in a Galaxy Far, Far Away dance?
B, the Under the Sea.
Enchantment Under the Sea.
Yes. 1-0, and Katie controls the question.
My husband would be mad at me if I got that wrong.
This is not looking good.
Katie?
Yes.
Also a Back to the Future trivia question.
Okay.
How fast did they need to travel to trigger the time travel? How fast did they need to go to trigger time travel? Is it 1, calculate an exact slingshot orbit around the sun while speeding at close to warp factor 10? Is it 2, 119.4 miles per second? Is it number 3, 88 miles per hour? Or 4, Mach 33?
It would be number 3.
88 miles. I told you these two were easy.
My
All
husband
right.
has embedded Back to the Future into my head.
It's 2-0 for Katie. Jamie, it's your turn. See if you can get back into the game.
All right, Jamie, let's find you some easy Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom trivia.
I watched this weekend.
Oh. Jamie, Kate Capshaw does this a total of 71 times in the movie, but had to learn how to do it properly. What is it? Is it 1, scream, 2, cry, 3, ride an elephant, or 4, ride Harrison Ford?
Is it ride an elephant?
No.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh,
Dang it.
I think this is for the win, Katie.
I did watch this weekend, and one thing she does a lot, and I assume she had to learn how to do it, is scream.
Scream is correct.
And there you go. Katie wins the game in
it's
a
not easy
clean
to scream.
sweep. I mean, it's just amazing. 3-0. Sorry, Jamie.
Wow.
It's
Yeah, I'm
just,
so sorry about that.
It's
Okay,
so,
good job, Katie.
it's so pathetic. Why don't you give her the damn
It is
tickets?
not pathetic. She tried her best.
Bill, Carrie, Bill, and Gina, and Katie.
You've got so much to tell us. Just dive right in.
Let's just get right to it, shall we?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Tonight at the complex, it's Day Seeker. Thursday, October 24th, Midland at the Union Event Center, and one of the best names ever, Snotty Nose Res Kids at
Love it.
Urban Lounge.
The Urban Lounge. Okay.
Vault Boy, hold on one sec. Sorry, fighting a cold. Vault Boy, Friday, October 25th at Kilby Court. Same night at the complex, it's Sophie Tucker and Ashley Cook will be at the Depot. Saturday, October 26th, it's Andrew Schultz at Kingsbury Hall. The Moss at the Union Event Center, and the best metal band of all time, Guar, at the Depot. Sunday, October 27th, Broadside and Bearings at Soundwell. Monday, October 28th, Yokelore at the Union Event Center and Rain City Drive at Urban Lounge. Tuesday, October 29th, Geordie at Kilby Court and Stoplight Observations will be at Soundwell. On sales tomorrow, 10 a.m., Rufus the Soul coming to Utah First Credit Union Amphitheater on August 10th. And then Friday, 10 a.m., LiveNation.com. Pinzo and JoJo, February 21, the Depot. Larkin Poe, April 12th, also at the Depot. Michael Marchese, March 11th, also Depot. James Bay, May 6th at the Depot. They Might Be Giants, June 10th, you guessed it, at the Depot. And Ben Barnes coming to Soundwell, January 17th. The giveaway this week, we're going to stick with the ass-kicking of the week. It's going to be 2 tickets to see Guar Saturday night at the Depot. Don't wear white and stand in the back.
Okay.
Good advice.
Just a little warning.
That's
Good
it.
advice.
That's the voice of experience right there. Yeah. All right.
Good advice.
Take care of that cold, Trent. We'll talk to you next week.
All right. See you guys. Thanks.
Goodbye.
Don't
Let's see.
wear white and stand in the back.
If you want,
That's my sign off today, by the way.
if you want those Guar tickets, 877-602-9696. First come, first serve. There you go.
There you go.
Katie?
What else have we got, Katie?
A lot. It is basically Halloween weekend since Halloween is next Thursday. So let's get into it. Jim Gaffigan's going to be at Eccles Theater. It is the last day on Friday, so it does start today, and then he'll be today, tomorrow, and then Friday's the last day.
No, he's.
Oh, did he extend it?
Yeah, because I'm going on Saturday.
Oh, I take it back. My bad. I'll double check that, and I'll get that updated on the website.
Maybe you're not going, Gina.
John Hyatt, it's the second night on Friday with Alicia Stockman. That's at the Stateroom. Saturday, it is the Poor Halloween over at the Stateroom. Our own Magna Vega, well, Bill Frost's own Magna Vega, my goodness, and Dragster. They're going to be Dragster Gas. They're going to be at the Tailgate Tavern if you want to check that out. Sunday, you have the Best Friends Tour. It is Do Papa. I'm sorry. You can go look that up. That's at the Stateroom. And then all weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, this is where I'm going to be. It's Get Freaky. V2's Get Freaky. A lot of DJs are going to be there. Liquid Stranger. You've got Caspa and Rusko. Slushy. Slushy's making a comeback, which is one of my favorite DJs in the world. There's a lot to see. So there's that. Other things happening. The Cottonwood Heights Monster Mash is going on at Cottonwood Heights Rec Center. Pawpalooza on Halloween. Pawpalooza Halloween. This is all on Friday, by the way. That's at City Creek. The Utah Jazz are playing the Golden State Warriors. West Valley Monster Mash. The Fright Night bar crawl's going on. Saturday, you've got the Salt Lake City Halloween bar crawl. You've got the Utah Firefighters chili cook-off over at the America First Fields. And it's just about chili time, I feel. So that'd be great. 5th annual Two-Spirit Powwow over at the Salt Lake Community College Lifetime Activity Center. And Boo at the Zoo. It's trick-or-treating at Hogle Zoo, all on Saturday. The only farmers market that's still open right now is Murray Park's Farmers Market on Fridays and Saturdays, and Saturday is the last day for that, so check it out. And then everything else that's going on all week through next weekend, Witches Tea at Grand America, Crossy Ranch Fall Festival, Tower of Terror at Broadway Theaters, Festival Transylvania over at Mill Creek Gardens. You've got the Little Haunts at This Is a Place, Halloween Hoot, Trick or Treat Diva at Metro Music Hall, Pumpkin Days at Wheeler Farm. All the haunted houses are still open. Utah Queer Film Festival, which is the formerly Damn These Heels festival. That's going to be at Rose Wagner Performing Arts Center this weekend. The Pumpkin Promenade at Mulligan's Golf Course, and of course Ballet West Jekyll and Hyde starts this weekend and goes through the 2nd.
Can you go back to the beginning? I'm just trying to write these all down.
Right, yeah, let's go.
So you're going to post all these.
Yes, it's all on our website. You can go check it out at x96.com, and there's a lot. Don't say you can't do anything.
I'm going to go
weekend.
see Thriller on Saturday night.
Odyssey Dance.
Yeah.
Odyssey Dance.
Fun.
They're pretty sold out. I just luckily got some tickets.
Nice.
Cool. All right, there you go. Thank you, Katie.
Thank
you, Trent. Our concert and community calendar. All right, we'll take a break, play a song, and crawl towards the exits after these Utah Water Savers.
Yeah, Bill, I noticed driving to pick you up in the morning.
Yes.
You have a couple of neighbors that are watering every day, and they're watering the street.
I'll speak to them.
The start and end of watering season is when we waste the most water in our yards. As it gets cooler, your lawn just doesn't need as much. So help save water now for next year. It's time to dial it down. It's a bit cooler. You certainly do not need to be watering as much as you were earlier in the summer. And you can help in different ways. You can save as much as $3 for every square foot of lawn replaced. You get additional money for including up to 5 trees from an approved list for your project, which is great. You have a full year to complete your project. So you have to sign up now, see what you're eligible for, because it depends on where you live. Different rebates are available in different areas. And then you can plan to start your project next summer. But think and plan ahead and do it now. You can do that by going to UtahWaterSavers.com to find out what incentives are available in your area.
And now, an important message from the Chainsaw Guy.
You know, I like a good obituary.
Yes.
I have an obituary here of a local person, which I read yesterday, and I think is very sweet and a good obituary, but for one thing, which I will get to in a minute.
Okay.
But I just clicked on the New York Times obituary page, just because I'm going to be talking about obituaries, and I see this: Peter Schickele, an American composer whose career as a writer of serious concert music was often eclipsed by that of his antic alter ego, the thoroughly debauched, terrifyingly prolific, and mercifully fictional P.D.Q. Bach.
Oh, yes.
Has died at his home in Bearsville, New York. He was 88 years old. Peter Schickele was a hugely funny guy, and he used to have a show on NPR where he played all kinds of odd music, some classical, but very, experimental music and all kinds of things. He had witty things to say about all of it, and he's the guy who said the sentence that Carrie and I often reference. Remember about music. If it sounds good, it is good.
Yeah.
And I didn't know he had died. There it is. He died Tuesday at his home in Bearsville. But here's the local obituary.
All right.
And it's a very nice obituary, but there's one small thing, or big thing perhaps, wrong with it.
Okay.
Bangs Leslie Tapscott was born in Riverside, California, only child to parents Bangs and Aline Tapscott. He grew up in Indio, California, and its surrounding areas. One of his first jobs was at a gas station as a mechanic, body, and fender repairman. In 1954, Bangs attended a high school dance and met the love of his life, Fran. Shortly after, he asked her out, confidently proclaiming on their first date that he would marry her. 5 years later, in 1959, in fact, they were married. Very nicely done so far.
Okay.
Bangs studied undergrad at the University of Oregon. During the late 1950s, he spent a year in Mexico City, with Fran patiently waiting for his return. In Mexico, a stranger on the street offered him a parrot chick for 75 pesos, which is about $5 at the time. And he said, throw in the cage and you got a deal. Thus, Greenbird became the beloved family pet for 48 years.
Don't ever get the parrot.
After, I think they survived Greenbird. Said that he was the beloved family pet for 48 years. That kind of indicates to me that Greenbird may not be around anymore. After college, the couple moved to Seattle. Bangs received his Ph.D. in philosophy at the University of Washington, back to Salt Lake City, where he taught philosophy at the University of Utah for the duration of his career. That's pretty impressive. Bangs and Fran started a family within 2 years of settling in Salt Lake, having Christopher and Teresa. Bangs nurtured a variety of hobbies through his life, displaying a particular fascination with computers, tinkering with computer parts and technology. In his early years, he developed a fondness for creating hand-thrown pottery, a craft he affectionately termed Scott's Pots. Now, his last name was Tapscott, so it would be Scott's Pots.
All right.
However, it was music that truly captivated him. Bangs was a talented musician, skilled at playing guitar, stand-up bass, and some vocals, with a vast mental library of thousands of songs. He was heavily involved with Intermountain Acoustic Music Association, where he held several roles, too numerous to list. Over the years, he extended his love of music by playing in the Oker Ridge Drifters and Bluegrass Conspiracy. After retirement, Bangs became adept at repairing and restoring clocks. He began a deep exploration of the Bible, sharing his findings in emails to friends. However, the endeavor led to the creation of a 2-volume set of self-published books on the Bible. Bangs continued to do well with until his wife passed. He lived independently after she died with his 3 cats. His health began to decline, and he passed away on Sunday, January 7th. There will be a celebration of life announced at a later date. In lieu of flowers, please donate to your favorite charity.
Okay.
I think it's a lovely obituary, except for one thing. Why was his father and he named Bangs? B-A-N-G-S. Bangs.
No explanation of the name.
I think I would have liked
their
in
first
that.
names, right?
Yeah, the first name. Bangs. His middle name was Leslie, last name Tapscott. And his father's name was apparently Bangs as well. Bangs. I think that's a great obituary, all in all. It's the way an obituary should be.
It's like we had our listener earlier who had an unusual name, and I don't remember what it is, but he had a whole story about where the name came from.
Polynesian.
Yeah, it was a Polynesian name, although he's not Polynesian. So yeah, that's all I would. I just like that. You
want a little.
I like the anecdote about the parrot. That was a great little touch to put in there. The fact that he repaired clocks after he retired, I think that's fascinating.
He did a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he had an interesting life, and he was obviously very, very much loved by his family. I just want to know why. Why Bangs?
Well, maybe since he's local, some of his family is listening and could let us know what.
Yeah, that does happen from time to time when I read an obituary on the air, and people get a hold of me and say, "Oh, that was very nice. You read about my father or my uncle or whatever." So anyway, that was what. And now I'm sad that Peter Schickele died. Well, he was 88. He had a good. For more than half a century, through live performances seemingly born of the marriage of Mozart, the Marx Brothers, and Rube Goldberg, and even a book-length biography, P.D.Q. Bach, the only dead composer from whom one can commission, Peter Schickele liked to say he remained enduringly, fiendishly alive.
Fiendishly alive.
Fiendishly. He wrote things like No, No, No Net, Perventimento for bagpipes, bicycle, and balloons. Another composition he wrote. If you can find, I'm sure you can find recordings of his radio show. It was just a half an hour. I'll bet it's in a podcast somewhere. Just look for PDQ Bach.
Let's see. What seems to hide behind bangs? Let's see. Bangs name, secret meaning of bangs? The true meaning of bangs cannot be described.
Are
in
you
just 2
binging
words.
bangs, Carrie?
I binged
Is
it.
that what
Bing
you
bangs?
did?
Yes. I'm trying to find an origin of the name, and I'm not finding
It
one.
reminds me of when we were interviewing Mitt Romney a long time ago.
Uh-huh.
Said, hey, Mitt, so Mitt, that name's a little unusual. Where does it come from?
I don't know.
No, he says my uncle's name. But
Yeah.
still, is it
But
okay?
he doesn't know why it's
But
Mitt.
why?
Why is his uncle named Mitt?
Yeah.
Why was Bang's father named Bangs,
Yeah.
and why is Bangs named?
Yeah.
Bangs is named Bangs because his father was named Bangs.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing if you ask Bangs Leslie Tapscott, what's the story with your name? I bet this guy would have known. He wouldn't have just said, "Oh, it's my dad's name."
Yeah, we're not finding an origin of the first name Bangs.
There must be.
Nobody.
There's a story there. We
Yeah.
want the story.
There's the surname, but but not the first name.
By the way, if you are having children, we like to help you pick names. If you're because inevitably you're trying to choose between one name or another, and you need a final arbiter. Please check with us first, because we'll run through whatever jokes might happen. We might bring up some alliteration you didn't think about.
Somebody texted, I took a symbolic logic class from Bangs Tapscott when I was an undergraduate at the U. That was more than 20 years ago. It's still one of the best classes I ever took. At the end of the semester, the class pooled some cash together, and we bought him a fifth of Jack Daniels as a gift.
Could we send a draft of obituaries the same way that we send ideas for band names or baby names?
Absolutely.
Yeah, we'd love to go over them for you.
We'll be happy to proofread those.
I've written several myself for family members and friends.
Spiders in
in
your
your garage.
So my husband told me I found 3 black widows in the garage. I'm going to clean out the garage and get rid of them.
Okay.
What is your biggest fear about dealing with spiders?
A sack of eggs.
Well, there's that, yes. But also, like when you go, oh, I see 3 spiders. I'm going to go get something to deal with those.
And then you come back and they're gone.
So he got 2 of them.
Oh,
We
no.
have 1 rogue black widow spider.
He knew.
In the garage.
She knew.
She knew.
She knew.
And, she's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger.
And like Katie said, that's what I'm worried about. I'm worried about
some eggs.
Eggs.
Sack of eggs.
somewhere.
Have you ever watched a spider sack burst? It's horrifying.
One time I saw this big wolf spider on the ground, and I thought, God, that spider looks weird. And I got close to it. There were hundreds of little babies on its back.
I hate that. It's
Same thing happened to me late one night watching television, and the light of the television was making the spider into a shadow that made it look bigger than it was. And I thought, well, I'll go get the raid and kill it. And it was like fluid, the way the baby spiders jumped off the back and just spread.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It is creepy. My family loves spiders, though. So
Yeah, you don't want black widows, though. I mean,
well, you don't.
I've
they're
known
not going to
people-
bother you.
I've known people that caught black widows at the haunted house and kept them for a while.
and my sister ended up in the hospital twice from black
Ugh.
widow bites.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
yeah.
Okay, well, hopefully that lone rogue spider will be found and exterminated.
I hope so.
All right. Well, let's do the promo and crawl towards the exit, shall we?
I always feel underdressed on Thursdays.
You look the same as you always do, black T-shirt and jeans.
I think the style is called radio casual.
Yeah, but on Thursdays we have Victoria with the Real Housewives of Salt Lake update.
Fashion is a big part of that show.
Hey, let's all kick it up a notch, huh? Feather boas for everybody on Thursday's Radio from Hell show here on X96. I was trying to get out of this earlier. Just didn't work.
Nope.
It was a good effort.
Caught
Didn't
myself.
cut it.
Yeah.
Didn't cut it.
Oh, well.
All right.
Are you back in studio tomorrow, Carrie?
Yeah, as far as I know.
Okay.
Sweet.
All right.
Okay.
Okie day. I think we're good.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Fine job as always, Katie.
Thank you.
Live long and prosper, bitches.
Don't you know who I am?
Don't wear white and stand in the back.
Artie Fufkin is next.
X96. Artie Fufkin's 1 hour nonstop